Hello everyone. If you like this audiobook and want to listen to more, please consider subscribing. And if you like this video, like it as well, that it enjoy.
Hector's first marriage, third-person POV. It's a festive day in Agrabah. The whole city stopped to celebrate the marriage of their only princess and her foreign consort. Despite the misgivings of a strange, exotic outsider marrying the princess, the people of Agrabah warmed up relatively quickly to the guy. First, with some coins well placed in the right hands, rumors of how he saved the royal family, and consequently the whole of Agrabah, from the hidden tyranny of an evil sorcerer spread pretty quickly. It is also very well known that he is the one paying for the whole wedding, including all the food and gifts to the populace. It also helps that, despite being an exotic fella, he is pretty handsome and charming. A little walk while he throws off some money to the public while announcing the marriage also helped gain a favorable reputation. While the sun is setting and a lot of people are working hard to complete the last preparations of the wedding, Hector is on his own, putting his clothes on at a leisurely pace. His choice of clothing is a simple white. It seems white, being the color of a marriage, is the rule even in this world, a robe that would not be weird outside a theater play of an ancient Eastern country. He received those clothes as a gift when dealing with a company in the post-apocalyptic world. It's bath clothes by the way, but so fancy with the gold threads that they can be passed as something royalty can use. Marvelous, marvelous, just a bit tighter here, and loose here. Obviously, he also has the genie playing the seamstress to him, prickling him with needles here and there. He didn't even need to make a wish for that, it's just a hobby for the guy. And a cape. No capes, Hector interrupts him. A cape is incredibly necessary. It's imposing, it makes you look bigger, it billows in the wind. The genie strikes a hero pose using a costume suspiciously similar to Batman. Okay, but not glued to my shoulders. Hector relents. He can't deny that capes are indeed cool, and he is not gonna fight anyone. Done. With a poof, a white cape drapes his shoulders, held together by a golden chain, covering his left shoulder and side of his body, while the other remains exposed. The asymmetry gives a cool and regal air. That was not a wish, the genie can give those small freebies, but the cape will disappear eventually. Indeed not bad. Hector praises while looking at himself in the big mirror. It covers the left side to hide a sword, right? I see, it is not just for cool points and to protect from the sun or cold. Hector immediately analyzes the practicality of something like that. Maybe he will make a personalized one for himself, a hooded mantle maybe, he is a traveler after all. He can use it in non-modern settings. Stop thinking about useless stuff, you are gonna get married, dude. The genie says excitedly to Hector. Outwardly, Hector doesn't look that excited. I know, I'm just figuring out my feelings. It would be a disservice to associate Hector's expression with his inner feelings. His heart is a little more complicated than his calm face. It's not that he is not excited, happy, or even nervous, it's just that no emotion is overwhelming the other, and it feels a little underwhelming because of that. Normally in those situations, a man would be jumping with joy or be a nervous wreck, but he is calm. And he can't say for sure the reason. It can simply be the fact that he is a calm individual overall. It can be because he doesn't truly love Jasmine. The foreign wedding also gives a stang feeling of all of it being a play. Maybe it's the fact that he knows that this will be a short marriage, so he is not committed to it like most people. This will definitely not be his last wedding. He rummages through all of these feelings in his chest. He doesn't regret agreeing to the marriage. In some way, going through this experience is exactly what he is looking for in his travels. His conscience is also clear because he was transparent with Jasmine. But I still feel like I'm taking advantage of her, he says loudly. It may be irrational, but that is how he feels. I'm not a sociopath, at least. Good to know. Aw man, stop moping around. How can you be such a downer on the day of your wedding? The genie sighs loudly. I'm not moping around. I'm just a mature guy that likes to grow as a person, and the best way to do that is to think things through. Hector says in a half-bragging tone that is one of the things he likes about himself. The fact that he is humble enough to always do some introspection and self-reflect, he feels that this is the right way to live his life. Each moment has a deeper meaning that he can discover and remember for the rest of his life, or till he learns something new. Some would say that it's better to live in the moment, to simply enjoy the now. Hector sees no problem in doing that and thinking about it simultaneously, or a little afterwards, or a little before. Feelings are fleeting, they can go away. The way he is feeling now can disappear the moment that Jasmine appears to him at the altar, and even this change in feelings is something that he wants to be aware of and remember. I think you are an overthinker. The genie says, I do not disagree with that and I think it is better than being reckless. Hector says while smoothing his clothes, a calm overthinker can choose to act recklessly now and then, but a reckless person rarely can choose to be calm. I prefer to have control over myself. Stoic, huh, the genie says in a deep voice, changed to a muscly and serious Greek statue. Yep, Hector agrees and nods to himself, satisfied with his appearance. I should have cut my hair, he comments a little later on his long hair, falling over his shoulders. It's been on this length for a long time. The Hercules method allows him to have control over all hair in his body, which is why he doesn't grow a beard for now. Well, I will cut in the next world because it is modern, and it would attract a lot of attention, so I guess I will enjoy it for a little longer. He combs his hair with his fingers, putting the left side behind his ear and letting the rest a little loose. It combines well with the clothes, giving a noble feeling. Having long and well-maintained hair is a symbol of status in many cultures, after all, and his curly locks are luscious enough to make envy blossom in the hearts of many women. Now, I'm ready, he says to himself, still here, magic carpet. Go to Jasmine, she needs to make an entrance. He turns to the carpet that was simply lying around lazily. After his words, the magical item perks up and flies out the window. With this, he did his part, now he only needs to show up and marry the princess. He was already informed about the customs around here. Not much difference from what he knows, it's even easier, there's no, I do, moment, the couple just needs to hear the speeches of different people, especially the Sultan, kiss, thank the guests who come to watch and retire to their chambers to consummate the wedding. He likes that part very much, but is still irked with the fact that he is gonna lose the banquet. Apparently, there's something about the night being to their partner or something like that, probably because men tend to have multiple concubines, so they need to spare at least the night of the wedding with their wife, and not go get drunk or whatever. He already bribed some servants to save a little of each type of food and bring it later to his future room, so that is not a big problem. He plans to bring Jasmine on a little tour around the world with the magic carpet to give the servants time to follow his orders. It would be awkward if they knock on the door while he is banging the princess. He still needed to wait for some hours. Hector arrived at the wedding place and started spending his social battery talking with the people around him. Despite all, Hector is an introvert. Till some years ago, he would barely talk to people, and even after many years, he continued to barely talk to people. Sometimes he spent months without uttering a word to anyone. Maybe that is why he monologues so much in his mind. There are ways that he can circumvent that shyness. A boost of confidence comes from his powers, and the knowledge that is essentially better than everyone around him. But isn't this arrogance? Yes. Some sprinkles of arrogant thoughts can go a long way in giving someone confidence and increasing their self-esteem. I can kill everyone here, if I want. Those guys don't even know high school level math. I can leave anytime I want. They never went beyond the desert. It obviously can't be taken too far, because it could become dangerous, but those thoughts are a good, cheap way, for a social inept guy to act tall and confident if the situation needs. It even helps him ignore some slights of nobles and princes who are snubbed by the fact that he stole their chance of marrying the princess. So it's a good thing, despite coming from an ugly emotion, he just needs to keep it in check and find balance, like in most things in life. One day, through his experiences, he will cultivate real confidence, but for now, this acting is enough. This way, he continues to fake smile to everyone but his soon-to-be father-in-law, keeping a straight face even when he was questioned about his background, the lies coming easily and naturally, all because of his hidden arrogance acting as confidence, holding his social engine going with fumes. Can we start already? He sighs in his mind while outwardly looking interested in a tall tale of noble. Jasmine and the genie are really the only people worth something in this place. Those people with high status don't like him, and it is hard for him to tolerate them. That is not his style. He wants to be free enough to see someone being subtly antagonistic, with veiled jabs behind sweet words, and just tell him to, shut the fuck up, bitch. Or break some of his bones. What a man doesn't tolerate for a woman, huh? After this world, he is gonna go back to his roots and be alone for some years. At least going through this made him discover that he really likes Princess Jasmine. Maybe he doesn't love her like his soulmate, the woman of his life, and all that. But Hector knows himself well enough that if this whole wedding was just an unpretentious, casual moment to him, he would have lost interest and simply gotten out of there. He is free-spirited like that. But sometimes you do things you don't like for people that you like, you put it in the balance and see what weighs more. I guess this is adulting, or something like that, whatever, it is just one night, and I know they are like that because they are jealous of me. Suckers. There's also the obvious fact that Hector's woes will eventually be rewarded, and it doesn't take long. The first gasp is all he needs to look up and see the princess slowly hovering down while standing on the magic carpet. After his first look at her, nothing else matters, all his annoyance evaporates as easily as a drop of alcohol in the desert. His beautiful, soon-to-be wife is worth more than a night of putting up with annoying people, he would tolerate dozens of times worse. Her garments are white, for some reason reminding him of Western weddings, but that is where the westernization ends. He can't say the official name of her bridal dress, his lack of knowledge only allows him to say that her gown reminds him of an anarkali or a lehenga. It covers most of her body, the upper part a tight bodice, while her skirt is long and full. There are gold details all over her body, even in her long sleeves, and she is wearing a veil that covers the whole half of her face. She is not wearing a headdress of any kind, opting to have some of the jewels that Hector gifted her in the shape of flowers adorning her dark hair. Two particular jeweled flowers hold a long piece of white cloth, too short to become the train of her wedding gown, but long enough to be the tail of the dress. She looks enchanting enough to silence the big and noisy crowd. Hector personally likes that the choice of white and gold creates a huge contrast with the dark sky, attracting attention to her, and then creates another contrast with her chocolate skin tone. He is the first to break the spell and walk forward a little. The magic carpet understands the assignment and drops down in front of him so that he can present his hand to the princess. Do I even need to say that you look beautiful? Or do my eyes pass the message clearly enough? He smirks at her playfully, exaggeratedly bowing like her many suitors once did. This is an inner joke between the two. He acts pompously as the rejected suitors, and she acts as how they expected a princess to act, instead of the surprisingly free-spirited tomboy Jasmine is. You may utter your pleasantries, it will please this princess. She says with a faux haughty face, her chin and nose raised. Nothing more fair, you look stunningly gorgeous, my princess. For an instant, I thought the spirit of the moon appeared in the sky. He declares to all to hear. From everyone, the two are acting with decorum as protocol mandates, but internally, they are holding back a laugh. Jasmine releases an approving sound while her lips tremble. Please. To stop them from making a fool of themselves, he guides her to the altar. She takes his hand graciously, but not without pinching his palm a little. He pinches back, and they go like this the whole walk, pinching each other while keeping a straight face. Be serious, princess. You, be serious. For some miracle, they are able to keep dignified postures till the ceremony starts and during the whole thing. It is less dull than what Hector expected, shorter too. The Sultan said some things. Other people he didn't know also said other things he didn't care about. The normal populace cheered every time their names were mentioned, and that is it. The whole city is raucous enough that it's already partying, so there's no reason to make a longer ceremony, so Jasmine's father finally says. Why don't we jump to the part everyone is waiting for? The Sultan says with a smile, I declare, my dear daughter, Jasmine, and her chosen companion, Hector, husband and wife. The whole city explodes while they share their second kiss, intense but chaste. After that, they turn to wave and slightly bow to everyone. Hector and Jasmine decided to go a step further and hop on the magic carpet to wave to everyone in the city. The carpet flew above the whole of Agrabah, everyone jumping and waving back to the passing newlyweds. Everyone was happy eating the food distributed at the banquet. Finally, Hector stretches his arms and feels the cool breeze of the night. Jasmine giggles. Acting like that, it seems that marrying me was a chore. She raises a challenging eyebrow, leaning against his side while the two travel on the magic carpet. You said that because you are not stuck in that place with those people. Hector looks at her. Should we go back and greet everyone then? Please no, she says horrified. That is what I thought. And the two laugh. A comfortable silence falls on them while they watch the night sky. Sue, husband and wife, Hector finally says to break the ice. Husband and wife. Jasmine confirms in a fit of giggles. What? Having second thoughts already? Nah, it's just that reality still hasn't settled in. A playful glint appears in her eyes. Maybe we should work to make it settle in. Her tone is suggestive and full of innuendo. Oh, and what do you have in mind? Hector plays innocent, but his eyes are anything but. Now they are married and alone. If she plays too much, she is gonna get it. I am open to suggestions, after all, I'm all yours now. She looks at him coyly. All mine. He raises an eyebrow. All yours. All of this. He makes a bold move to reach for her breast and squeeze it. The fabric is thin, so he can feel the natural softness and even the nipple hardening because of the cold night. To his surprise, Jasmine didn't react like the usual tropes, no slapping away, no playful saying, "Stop," not even getting shy. She narrows her eyes and puts her own hand above his, making him squeeze her breast harder. All yours, she says, pausedly, her voice sultry. Quote. And that is enough for him. It's only for respect for the magic carpet that he didn't rip off her clothes right there and now. His free hand gives quick taps on the carpet. Back to the castle, he says before pulling her to a deep kiss. A making out session is okay, he thinks while the carpet makes a U-turn and speeds back. The carpet makes quick work of the travel back, good for it, otherwise it would get dirty. Hector didn't even wait before jumping on the balcony of their shared room with Jasmine in his arms, lips still locked in a kiss. He doesn't waste time moving to the big bed, but a problem happens. After throwing her in the middle of girly yelps, the two hear a clink. Looking up, they see some female servants setting the table with food. Quote. The situation is a little awkward. Hector above the princess, the servants stiff in place. Out, now, it's the princess who says in a strong tone, and no one dares to disobey, even while staring at them upside down and with her husband above her, the authoritative tone is unquestionable. The servants scurry away quickly, leaving the things where they are before closing the door behind them. Well, where are we? Hector asks with a smirk, trying to get back in the mood. We are in the part where you deflower me, she answers coyly. Quote. Hector can feel his blood speeding up through his whole body. Princess, wife, he says slowly, you are playing with fire. Am I? She asks cheekily. Yes, and I will remember all of this. Another day, I will make you pay for all of this, but tonight I will be gentle. His tone was threatening before getting soft. He caresses her hair before continuing. The first time is not always good, I have methods to make it less worse, but not good. It will become good eventually, so tonight, let me make it as pleasant as possible, the night that you will never forget. All right, she says, finally showing a hint of shyness. Hector smiles and goes to whisper in her ear, then one day I will teach you a lot of things, he says huskily before biting her ear lightly. His mouth moves to kiss her neck and collarbone. She only hugs him while enjoying his kisses. How is your education about sex? He asks while getting her ready, his hand and mouth working in tandem to get her body hot, testing what she likes. To let my husband does what he wants, and gracefully accepts it. She was talking between moans, feeling his hands lightly pinch her nipples over the clothes. But her words made Hector stop, his teeth that were ready to bite off the clothes hiding her breasts opens, and he raised his head to look at her. Seriously, you are taught to be a dead fish? He asks, incredulously. Well, there are some books, but they simply told me where it goes, that it hurts the first time, and that I should accept anything my husband wants to do with me. She answers. Okay, can't say that I'm that surprised, but damn, sex is more than a chore to make children, my wife. He says while looking at her. Now speaking a little more seriously, if you trust me, I can teach you a lot of fun things to do between us. I obviously trust you, then it's a deal, he smiles. We are gonna enjoy this together. You and me, learn what the other likes and show our love by making the other feel good, that is how love is made. He lowers his face again to her breasts, tonight let me love you. The next morning, Hector is awakened long before Jasmine. He calmly stays still while the princess, now his wife, uses him as a hug pillow. I guess this can count as a new experience, he thinks. Taking the princess's virginity was not as good as he thought. Beyond his male ego being stroked, he needed to be too careful with her. Even with some massage and pressure point techniques he could do, it was not a pleasurable experience for him. He was not able to let loose. Hentai lied to me, haha. Maybe I need some arrow magic or something like that. He looks down at his wife's sleeping face, her peaceful sleep is enough for him. It is proof that his patient paid off, and he didn't traumatize her for life. We can start from now on. He is not disappointed, that is just one of the many things he confirms that is not as easy as many medias portrayed. Anyone with 2 brain cells would expect something like that, and he doesn't have any, to help. And it's not like having postmarital sex with his new exotic wife was such a sacrifice. Life is good. So he just cuddles with his new wife and kisses her forehead, enjoying the little time they will have together. She reacts to his kiss, and her eyes flutter open. "Good morning, wife," he says, smiling. "Good morning, husband," she answers while cuddling closer to him. "Wanna do something today, or spend the whole day in bed?" he asks. "Bed," she says immediately, her arms hugging his neck and bringing him closer. "Yes, life is very good. He will just forget 1 year the deadline for now." 3 comments 0 vote. Married life. Hector POV. More than half a year has passed since my wedding. Life is full of surprises. It's like that saying I read in some Chinese novels, "Man plans and the heavens laughs," or something like that. Or, "No plan survives first contact with the enemy." I still remember myself at the beginning of this journey, hyping myself up to be a focused and stoic loner guy. Not even 5 years later, and I'm married. Not that one excludes the other, but you get what I mean. I also remember saying something about not caring about the problems of the world I visit. It was a good consideration to make. After all, I would have no end of trouble if I developed a savior complex. But here I am, improving Agrabah with my modern knowledge and powers. Let's make it my farewell gift. Agrabah will be everything Jasmine will have after I'm gone. I can at least cheat a little to help. And it's kinda easy. Very easy indeed. From giving seminars to the scholars about advanced subjects to changing the trajectory of a river, or digging an underground water source to make a spring. Many scholars hear my lectures with great attention. At this rate, I'm gonna be remembered in the same breath as Aristotle and Da Vinci. I taught basic things like math, physics, chemistry, astronomy, and obviously more practical subjects like agriculture, architecture, and medicine. That is how Sage Hector was born. Not gonna lie, it feels a little good. I know that I have nothing to be proud of. After all, I'm taking credit from other people's discoveries, but I'm helping. Agrabah is getting better. And the most important, I have my reward too. Skipped R18 scene. Now it's time for a little talk, Jasmine. I say a little more seriously while we cuddle on the bed. "What's happening?" She gives me an equally serious look. "Nothing happening, yet, but I was thinking about the fateful day that I need to leave." I say, watching her expression shift, "I'm worried about you when you will be left alone. Our marriage and the progress on Agrabah will not make the competing countries happy. Do you think they will try anything?" She frowns, worried. "Well, before going, I will have a little talk with them, but I was thinking about a more long-term solution." I start, and after this, I tell her about the magic lamp. "A jinn?" she asks incredulously. "Yeah, a genie. He is not evil, by the way. So he granted you 3 wishes. Only 2, till now. Your powers?" "Nah, just some protection and a cool, but useless for now, weapon." I shrug. "I can get powers on my own, but not you." I give her a meaningful look. "Wait, do you want to give me your last wish? It will not even be needed. You just need to rub the lamp, and you will have your own 3 wishes." I say with a big smile, "You just need to wish for some awesome powers, some protection, and whatever you want, and you will be set for life even without me here." If Jasmine does the same wish that Jafar did, the one about becoming the greatest sorcerer in the world, not the tricky one about becoming a genie, she will be untouchable. The lesson of the movie Aladdin is that greed is never good, and you should be happy with what you have because maybe others don't even have it. Jasmine desires the freedom Aladdin has. Aladdin, on the other hand, desires her rich life, and the genie desires the freedom that is common to everyone, despite his amazing, cosmic powers. Jafar went too far and brought his own demise. He should have won. His magical power, a product of his wish, was leagues apart from his parlor tricks. And Jasmine can have the same now. "Whoa," she says in a low voice, overwhelmed and maybe unbelieving. She will need to see it firsthand. As we get close to the deadline, I think it's time to do it. I say. "Wait, now, should I make the wishes now?" She widens her eyes. "No, tomorrow at first light," I say and pull her to my arms. "What should I wish for?" she asks with her head on my chest. As much as I wanted to say, "Whatever you want," I think we should make it count and not waste it. I say, "And I have a favor to ask. I want you to use your 3rd wish in a selfish way for me." "You don't even need to ask. You are the one giving me the wishes." She answers immediately. "Thank you." I smile. "Tomorrow it will be a good day for me, for you, and for the genie. After that, we continue to have pillow talk about the wishes till we fall asleep. The next morning, we put on our clothes and asked for breakfast in bed while we reviewed Jasmine's wishes. Ready? I ask. Ready. She has a cheat sheet, so it's cool. Then time to gain great powers. I pull the magic lamp from my inventory and give it to her. This is it. It looks a little ordinary, she comments. Great magic often is. She rubs it before I take the lamp back from her hands. I still want my last wish. What is this? I felt a different pair of hands shaking my home. The genie appears with the usual fanfare, looking down on us, especially at the wide-eyed Jasmine. She rubbed the lamp, so she's gonna have 3 wishes. I say immediately. Oh Hector, you smartass. Wanna try to exploit the system? He grabs my cheek and pulls it like a grandma. Let me see in the book of rules here, I think there's a section about husband and wife sharing the same 3 wishes. A book appears, and he starts passing the pages while licking his fingers at lightning speed. Don't even start, just give her the 3 wishes. I cut him off, not gonna let him cheat on me this. Well, no one even did that, and I don't think there are rules against it, so whatever. He acts nonchalant, raising his nose pompously. Just for you to know, I don't want to be passed from hand to hand like that. I'm a respectable lady. Now he is an eccentric noble lady or whatever, waving a fan to cover her face while batting her eyes at me. Don't worry, that it will be the last time, really, the last time. Okay, pretty wife, shoot your wishes. Make a strike 1, strike 2, and a strike 3. He changes to a baseball player and assumes a position like he is gonna receive the ball. Be more decisive than your husband there. He still hasn't said his last wish. I don't even know how you convinced him to marry you so quickly. He whispered the last part to Jasmine. The princess seems amused at the genie's antics, but she focuses quickly enough. Fine, let's go with this. Jasmine checks her cheat sheet. First, I want to be the greatest magic user ever. She reads what we discussed before. To her wishes, no need to ask for anything specific. Leaving it to genie to concede it without our words limiting the wish. This copy of Jafar's wish will not only give her magic potential, but also expertise and knowledge. It's not an earned power, and someone on the same level would easily win against her in a fight. Like what would happen if a noob and a pro both get 2 characters max level to fight a PvP, but that doesn't matter. Who is gonna ask for a 1v1 now? Poof, the genie strikes Jasmine with lightning from his fingertips, but outwardly, nothing changed. So, how is it? I ask. I don't know, she says absent-mindedly while looking at her hands. I can feel an extra something but. Hard to explain, huh? Then do it. I point at a chair, not one of my modern comfy chairs or the super sophisticated ones from here, just a wooden chair that I was using to hold one of my security alarms, and now it's just there. And how do I do it? She asks. I don't know, point at the chair and do it. I shrug. Do it how? Do it, quote. Her nostrils are flaring now. Okay, rage baiting is fun at all, but let's be serious. Just visualize something and imagine your power over it. It's how I do my telekinesis. In the beginning, it helped that I visualized some tendril or invisible construct extending from me. Try turning into something, or destroying it. Destruction is easy. Any tips, genie? Do you want to read the book again? He makes that damned joke magic book appear again, but I wave it off. While we are talking, Jasmine was concentrating a little too hard, I would say, but I will not hurry her more. Certain things need to be on their own time. Whoosh. Eventually, a blast of energy, like a firework, shoots from her hand and hits the chair, turning it into splinters. Oh, it didn't even burn the ground or anything else. Very safe magic. It's the first thing I noticed. Ooh, Jasmine stayed still after tasting a little of unlimited power. Go on, try more, your imagination is the limit. Try to change something, create something from nothing, change forms, move, float. I gave some ideas, but in the end decided to just let her do the thing. The fact that Jasmine follows my instructions confirms that I shouldn't say much. This kind of broad power needs to adapt to the user, so that it can become a specialization. Like me, telekinesis is probably one of the most versatile powers ever. Different people would use it differently. Maybe some would use it with items like knives or metal balls, maybe using the environment, maybe with blasts, maybe with crowd control like choking, maybe used to move yourself. I have to agree that it is a better idea to master one of those things completely. I'm of the CC defensive group, my body is already a weapon, so a well-placed restriction, immobilizing my opponent's legs or something like that, is enough to give me the chance of simply punching them in the face. But if I had to say what the thing I'm the best at, I think it would be flying. It's what I do the most. I don't fight that much. My aerial maneuvers and three-dimensional moves are very good. The fact that I'm a user of the Hercules method also helps greatly. My balance, spatial awareness, and overall physical abilities are top-notch, working well with my telekinetic flight. We can make more tests later. Ask for your second wish. I interrupted Jasmine when I noticed she was doing more of the same. Oh, alright, she stops and grabs her cheat sheet again. We had a small disagreement about this wish. I wanted her to ask for immunity to harmful things on her body, like poison, or even a really strong healing factor, or even immortality. This way, she would be protected from people who want to harm her. Thinking a lot forward, when she starts using her powers publicly, maybe other countries or whatever will try to get rid of her by underhanded means. Again, Jasmine is not an experienced fighter. She can die if someone catches her off guard, either by slipping poison into her drink or a backstab while she is distracted. Jasmine, on the other hand, wanted to ask for prosperity to Agrabah. She wanted to ensure that her homeland would be good even without her. I suspect she wants to wish for that because of her desire to follow me in my travels. The talk was long, and I had to explain that it is impossible, that I will try to come back, but it is not guaranteed. I also said that using her new power, she can create a prosperous Agrabah herself, that the most important thing is for her to be safe, and that I will be much more relieved this way. It took a lot of time and persuasion, but I eventually convinced her. Eventually, she saw my point and wished for immunity against anything harmful targeting her body. It is the physical version of my soul mind protection. I see the similarity with your husband. Are you gonna hold your last wish like him? The genie asks. No, but the last wish is for him. She says, thank you again, my love. I say for the fourth time, sending her a flying kiss. Yes, she only has her 2 wishes because of me and all that, but I can still be thankful for her actions. Jasmine started reading the last wish word by word. I wish you to make that Hector can truthfully and surely control his age, being able to get older, younger, or lock it at any point. That will complete my immortality. I am already ageless, but I will be forever stuck at my peak of early 20s, and unless I allow my body to get really muscular, I will never look like a 30-year-old guy. And I will never look younger. The Hercules method allows a degree of control over my body. It's all about the mind and body connection. Your body changes to the way you see yourself, your ideal self. But it is a slow process and more complicated than that. You can't lie to yourself to change your body completely. The crux of this wish is that it will open doors that are closed for me because of my age. How can I go to Hogwarts, Ninja Academy, Hero School, or any world that is a school setting? Heck, even in those Shanja, Wuxia worlds, there are some places that can't be accessed after a certain age. Opportunities that are locked beyond older people. This wish will give me even more freedom. Now I can continue my travels without a hurry, and when I go to those worlds where it would be convenient to me to be younger, I can insert myself much more easily. Another thing is that it will be a good reflection of my true self. Truth be told, I still feel like the teenager who suddenly gained powers. I don't feel like an adult. The reason why I still look young, by the way, I don't know. I never became an adult. I never got responsibilities, never paid taxes, never stressed over anything that comes with the common adult life. Maybe this is one of the factors why rich people look younger. I really don't feel my age. In my mind, I'm still 16. Maybe it's immaturity, but I like it. Who wants to grow up like that? Oh, like immortality with customized appearance? The genie asks. More like I change my age for real, in a way no one would tell otherwise. I don't want to change my appearance. I want to be able to get younger and older as I wish and lock my age when I want. I say, keeping my mind, powers, and abilities the same. I add. The last part is complicated. Certain abilities are tied to your physical form. Do you want a 1-year-old to do acrobatics like you? He shakes his head. Okay, nothing impossible, but my wish that protects my mind should be enough to make that even if I become a baby, my baby brain will not affect my thoughts and maturity, right? I'm okay with having some of my powers weakened if I turn into a toddler. I'm not turning into one under normal circumstances, and if I turn into one, it will be in a very safe environment. That is true. The genie scratches his head. Obviously, that is true. Jasmine's last wish is one of my original 3, and I thought about it with my NZT-boosted brain. But expect some hormones acting up if you want to go through puberty again. He laughs. I'm never going through that shit again. I laugh too because I have the Hercules method, baby, I have total control over my own body. All the downsides of this wish are already taken care of. NZT-boosted Hector is a genius. Okay, done. The genie points at me and hits me with the usual blue lightning. Instantly, I feel this extra ability. It's like I have a slider in my mind with my age, from 0 to 100, and a small box that I can click to lock my age. That is how I visualize it, but it's probably because I'm a gamer. Let's try. I close my eyes and imagine sliding my age to 35. Ooh, I hear Jasmine cooing at the side. What? I open my eyes. Nothing, she says flushed, while staring at me a little intensely. I turn to look at the full body mirror to check. Oh, I see, I'm a DILF. Any sign of baby fat disappeared. I grew a little taller, my muscles grew too, now I really look like Batman and Superman in the comics. But I still don't look that old, just some small lines have appeared around my eyes. I think if I cut my hair and grow a beard, I slide more, passing the 43 shod, almost 50, okay, now I'm a DILF. There's a little white in the side of my hair, the lines are more prominent, and if I frown, I look more austere. You look good, Jasmine praises while running her hands through my thick, sexy body. Now, I do the opposite, and regress till I'm a 10-year-old. Ount, Jasmine coos again, but in a different way. So cute, she immediately ruffles my hair and pulls my now very elastic cheek. I look at the mirror and, okay, I'm a cute child, but more important, let's check my dick. Pulling the waistband of my pants, I look down, okay, it's smaller, but still a respectable size. It's not a shrimp, it can be used. Yes, the Shota Omniversal adventures can begin now. Not gonna lie, that is a side reason why I want this ability. There are a lot of freakies out there in the Omniverse. I want to be a victim. Jasmine, I turn to her with the best puppy eyes I can make, extending my arm and closing and opening my small hands, asking for uppies. Ooh, Hector, you're so cute. She grabs and hugs me tightly. I want our child to look like this. Yikes, children, no. While she is squealing in happiness, I'm grabbing my own happiness with my small hands. Yes, being small can be a boon. The feeling of hugging a much bigger woman is awesome. I hide my lewd smile in her bosom while planning how to turn the tables on the predator Onisans and Okasans. They will become the victims in my tiny and soft hands. ... Eventually, I go back to normal and lock my age at 18, not looking any different from my previous normal self. I will gonna stay like that for a while. Okay, I guess it's time to my last wish, I say with a small smile on my face. Oh, finally, you bad boy, have been teasing me for a long time. The genie turns into a woman and shakes his finger in my face in a flirtatious way. ... I move that thing off my face before starting. I want to wait till I need to go away, but I guess it doesn't matter now. The truth is that I'm not really sure if I was gonna do it, so I was gonna hold the magic lamp, the most dangerous thing in this world, in my hands till I'm no longer here. Genie, I wish, go on, Papa is ready, he rolls his imaginary sleeves. For you to be free. Finally, I managed to shut you up. I am already chuckling because it is exactly like how I remembered from the movie. It happens without his control. The lamp flies out of my hand and releases blue smoke that circles him, breaking his armbands before falling on the ground completely powerlessly. Am I free? He looks bewildered at his own hands. Quickly, ask for anything. No, ask for something outrageous. Ask for you to be less of a boring, edgy teen. Hey, I wish for you to be less annoying. And nothing happened. Ooh. To prove his point, he acts as annoying as he can. Flying like a rocket around the room, messing with a lot of my things, my cables. Don't tangle them. He moves around us too and pulls me into a dance of salsa. Leave me alone, you creep. I push him away. No, ha, because I don't need to obey you. And he pulls me in a big bear hug, and then pulls Jasmine to join us. I'm free. He goes back to make a musical number, singing about his freedom. I guess he kept his powers, but they're not unlimited, or cosmic, like before. But the most important, the wishes he granted didn't disappear. I was 90% sure that it would be the case, because the wish he granted Jafar of making the former vizier a genie kept up even after his release, but I was a little worried. In truth, I was still not sure if I would free the genie. Come on, it's not my responsibility or anything. I know that I have potentially infinite wishes, but spending years and years in this world to farm them would be a chore. 2 wishes in releasing the genie, and then repeat, imagine meeting another Jasmine so soon. I can't. I mean, I can, I just don't want. I rarely do things I don't want. I came here for my protection, the rest would be convenient but is not essential. The Keyblade was cool, and it was not something I could get anywhere else. The age control was simply a convenience. I could live without it for a few more years before deciding to go to another, Aladdin world, for more wishes. Other wishes will be on hold for now, like the one to make me a sex god, and the one to give me a certain degree of control over my children and what they would inherit from me. The genie was unnecessarily packing his bags when he paused. It seems, this is a goodbye. He turns to me, a little sad. We spent a lot of time together, talking shit and traveling around. He was not truly free, but I guess it was the freest he felt in his life. Just hanging around without the need to concede wishes. Don't be like that, like me, now you have the freedom to travel everywhere. I say, the most important thing we can put in our baggage is the experience. Let's be glad we met. Oh Hector, who would have thought that you have an emotional side? He pulls me in for another big hug. I have a pretty high EQ. I just don't use it, because people are not worth it. I return the hug with some pats on his blue back. Yep, that is the cold and pragmatic Hector that I know. He releases me, goodbye, dude. He also says goodbye to the magic carpet. Bye. A little tip from a traveler, take it easy, rushing things may lead you to a quick state of boredom. Okay, bye, princess. He starts floating slowly before turning himself into a blue streak that escapes through the window. Ooh, I can hear his voice from a distance, the streak becoming a shooting star. And there he goes, Jasmine comments, walking to my side. Yep, you can probably do those things he does now. I will try, I will help, let's take a page from his book and go on a little vacation around. I would love that, she says while putting her head on my shoulder. Just a little more and I will need to say another goodbye. 18 comments 0 vote, a bad farewell, third person POV. After releasing the genie, Hector and Jasmine continued on his 1-year-long honeymoon. Hector thinks he has helped Agrabah enough and is now stepping back, letting things run on their own. This way, he can observe and maybe fix any mistakes before he definitively leaves. Now he has time to spend with his wife, the two doing almost everything together. From watching the recorded shows that Hector is studying, to his future visits, or how he calls it, Netflix and chill. To train together, after all, he never stopped doing his training. Last year, in the post-apocalyptic world, he studied more than he trained, his mind being sharpened while his body was barely taken care of. Now he is putting a lot of effort into the Hercules method and even practicing some martial arts alone, and swordplay, so that he can use his Keyblade efficiently. Till now, his stats carried him enough that technique was irrelevant, but he knows that it will not continue like this in the future. The next world, for example, will be a good opportunity to train his techniques and expertise, so he wants to go there with the fundamentals already. You already master this, Hector praises while observing Jasmine throw blast after blast of magic at a wall on the other side of the lake, where they are having a picnic. The greenish lightning cuts the air, cresting a trail and ripples on the surface of the lake before hitting the rocks and changing its shape. Each time her magic hits, a new statue appears, different animals, her father, Hector, and she and him together. It's surprisingly easy. It was supposed to be this easy, she asks, turning to him. The magic from here is just a flex of your will, with a few limits, it's basically an infinite number of small wishes. Hector is making sandwiches. At this point, he can use more of his storage because the next world is a modern one, so he will be able to restock. I would recommend that you study physics and chemistry to use your power in even better ways, but it seems unnecessary, the magic seems to be alive and follow your command seamlessly. While Hector was saying that in making the sandwiches, Jasmine suddenly hit the picnic cloth with a blast of magic, and the whole task was completed. The sandwiches are made, the rest of the snacks are organized, and even the juice is put into the cups. Quote. Hector pauses. Don't do that, why not? Isn't this more convenient and easier? She asks while sitting at his side. Yes, it is, but be careful not to get lazy and spoiled, princess, there is also enjoyment even in the dullest of the tasks, he explains. He is the kind of guy who nowadays goes on walks even though he can fly. I will not become spoiled. She replies. Those kinds of things happen not based on your words, but based on your actions. He gives her a side glance. You are lucky that you know how to make it the way I liked, he chuckles before taking a bite, but for some reason, he then falls into a fit of laughter. What now? She looks at him strangely while also taking a sandwich for herself. Ha ha ha, you wouldn't get it, he shakes his head while recovering. The silly thought that crossed his mind is the irony of a Disney princess gaining amazing magical powers and still using them to make her man a sandwich. The feminists would seethe in my home world, he thinks with a smile. He obviously knows that this is not that deep, Jasmine is just treating him nicely because she likes him, but he also knows how certain people would interpret the act. This place is beautiful, Jasmine comments with a sigh, resting her head on his shoulders. With the magic carpet, they are able to go very far to sightsee, so Hector decided to go north and north till they crossed the ocean and landed in Europe. The lush green vegetation, mountains, and waterfalls are a new and enchanting sight to Jasmine. At this point, you can probably replicate it on Agrabah, Hector says. Can I? Probably yes, but these types of changes need to be well planned. It can get out of control. You always seem to have but, ready. Can't I do anything fun? She laughs. Just warning you, I read somewhere that power without responsibility is indulgence, and indulgence kills us slowly. If you like how you are right now, keep that in mind, or you will end up changing into something unrecognizable. He says wisely, if the world can't give us limits, maybe we should make them ourselves. I understand. She nods seriously. It's not like I'm gonna use those powers to hurt anyone. She looks at her hands that are now filled with power. But I understand that can happen unintentionally. Yes, in many ways. Hector says, you can be careless and hurt someone, you can make something that will negatively affect someone's life, there are many ways. Better be careful instead of regretting later. What are you in a hurry for? Hector parts with some of his way of life. As an immortal being, he is a little scared of having great regret that will remain rooted deeply in his being for countless years. You're right, I often am, he replies cheekily and receives a playful slap for his smugness. Wanna continue exploring later or return? Hector spared some of his time to go around searching for other Disney movies, testing if they are all on the same planet or something like that. First, he went to China to search for Mulan, then he went to Greece to see if there's really a pantheon of gods there. Went around Europe to check if there are any fictional countries or kingdoms where other princesses could come from, and now he stopped in Scotland to see if there's anything from Brave here. He even playfully went south to see if some lions were in some sort of political power struggle. He will not explore the depths of the sea for any mermaid, the ocean is scary. In the end, he found nothing. Maybe it's too soon on the timeline, but the main theory is that it's some sort of Disney multiverse. Well, at least a universe, after all. In Kingdom Hearts, Sora travels in a spaceship to arrive in the Disney worlds. Unfortunately, he will not risk following in Car's footsteps, so he will not go into space, even though there's a good chance that he can survive there and that he can move himself with his telekinesis. Well, it's not like he can travel faster than light, so he will not waste time searching the empty and vast cosmos. First, he needs to try going to the moon. He will try in the next world. It can take some weeks, but it is feasible. Well, Jasmine starts slowly, her voice dripping with an extra something. Her index finger tracing lines on Hector's forearm. I don't want to explore, but I also don't want to go back just yet. Oh, is that so? Hector catches on fast. And what do you suggest that we do? She looks at him with half-lidded eyes filled with lust. We are in such a beautiful spot, no one around, the weather is good, and we have plenty of food and water to restore our energies in case we do some exercise, she whispers. I have some exercises in mind. He replies, already grabbing a handful of her ass. Show me. He doesn't need to be told twice. Hector pushes Jasmine down on the picnic cloth while swiping everything carefully because he doesn't waste food away. What a naughty princess, outdoor sex, really. Hector chuckles deeply while kissing every inch of exposed skin, and exposing even more with his hands slowly. You are the one that turned me into this, She moans when his mouth and hands touch sensitive places. I can't get all the credit, you had an inner slut all the time, I just helped her get out. He whispers before biting her earlobe. Your slut, she moans back, arms going around his neck to pull him into a kiss. All mine, he answers before mashing lips with his princess. After that, all pretense of civility was thrown out the window. The two kiss and hug each other so strongly and passionately that it is like they want to devour the other, to create a physical impossibility, and make those two bodies occupy the same space at the same time. Jasmine removes one hand from Hector and points a finger at herself slowly. Don't you dare. Hector grabs her wrist, half serious and half playful. I want to have the pleasure of undressing my slutty wife. But I want you inside me. She whimpers between moans. Patience, my love. He smiles, painfully slowly unwrapping her body. If I can be patient with you, sexy chocolate of a body in front of me, how can you not? Because I'm dying for some cream in my chocolate, she says back. At this point, Hector shared a lot of food, movies, and books with her, so Jasmine knows what he is talking about. This is very different from the beginning, when he had to explain one word every 5 phrases to her. He taught her much more, too, sexy and fun stuff. Why don't you remove for me then? He pauses with a roguish smile. A striptease, she raises an eyebrow at him, the corner of her mouth rising too. Yeah, to test your self-control, you know. Go slow for me, his words make her roll her eyes. Testing my self-control, my ass. I have no self-control about your ass. Despite acting unwillingly, Jasmine promptly pushes him and stands up. Is that what you want? She puts her delicate fingers on his chest, making him lie down as she slowly loosens her already loose clothes. You want me to make a show for you? She asks sultrily, letting the pieces of clothing fall on him slowly while she bares herself. Yes, he answers shamelessly while grabbing one and sniffing it, keeping eye contact all the way. My husband is a pervert, she says. And you love it. I do, she also shamelessly admits. Skipped R18 scene. The honeymoon phase lasted during all the time they were married, but eventually, all things come to an end. So, it's tomorrow, huh? Jasmine says with a distant voice, her fork messing with her piece of cake. She loves this food that was introduced to Agrabah. Hector made her one as a farewell gift, and now she is eating in bed. Technically, it was today, but you asked me for one more night. He says, the year has already passed. I will need to live first thing in the morning. Quote. Jasmine, you know that this is gonna happen. He says softly, putting a finger under her chin to make her look at him. I know, but can't I be sad? She harumphs, stands up, and walks away, leaving her cake unfinished. Quote. Hector sighs. So she asked me to stay one more night, only to give me this treatment. Women. He seriously considers going now. But a promise is a promise. He will wait till tomorrow. So he lies on the bed, already packed everything that is his. The clean and empty room is the image of loneliness. He almost really traveled at that moment, but he is glad he didn't because Jasmine came back an hour later. I'm sorry. She jumps into his arms, face on his chest. It's just that. I know, I feel the same. He caresses her black hair. I would say sorry, but it would be meaningless. I can't apologize for what I am. Will you come back? She asks weakly. Quote. I will try, he answers equally weakly. The truth is, he can't promise that. When he travels, he searches for a world and an infinite list appears. All the same world in the titles. The descriptions start to change after he rolls down the list for some time, but are in alien symbols that he has no idea what they mean. He best guesses that is a worlds, with differences from what he knows. The further on the list, the more different from canon it should be. The thing is that he always chooses the first world in the list, and he has already gone to recheck the world he visited, and he has no idea if it is the same. There's no indication that he visited. No history, no change in color, no marker. The worlds that he visited must be very well lost on the infinite list. He tried to write down the descriptions, saving the foreign symbols, but they changed constantly. Maybe the list reshuffles every time he opens it, maybe the symbols change because his mind can't read them anyway. He knows so little about his power. He wants to believe that it is possible to come back here, but how long will it be till he can do that? It would be better if she didn't torture herself waiting for him. In hindsight, it would be for the better if they hadn't gotten married at all, but that is their choice, and they don't regret it. They need to live with the consequences now. Both of them. I will miss you. She hugs him tighter. I will miss you, too. The moment arrived. Jasmine and Hector are in the privacy of their room. He is now wearing modern clothes, ready to travel. Goodbye, my first wife in love. I will never forget you. He smiles and kisses her hand. Jasmine is crying, and Hector has just discovered that it is hard to stare at her this way. Seeing her crying and knowing that he is the reason is very painful. He turns around. I'm going. The hollow screen of his multiversal travel is already open, and the world is selected. He just needs to press confirm, and he's probably never gonna see her again. This Jasmine, at least. But at that moment, something unexpected happens. Hector finds out that he can't move. Looking down, he sees that suddenly he is tied by ropes. Jasmine, he looks back, his eyes getting cold. She is still crying, bawling her eyes out while clenching her fists at her side. I don't want you to go, she says between sobs. I will go, he replies in an even tone. Just a little more, just give me some more time. You are immortal, right? She argues, her voice cracking. I would hate myself if I stayed, I would not be the Hector that you love. He says calmly, I would end up resenting you. Let me go with only good memories of you, Jasmine. He keeps his calm, but his tone is getting colder. I will love you no matter what. She shouts, I just need you to stay a little more. I can convince you to stay. You will be happy here. She is almost hysterical. Hector observes her with dead eyes. At this moment, he sees that arguing will take them nowhere. He sighs, betrayal never comes from your enemies, I guess that this is a lesson too. His soft words, no, his resigned tone is almost a slap at Jasmine's face. Such cold eyes, such indifference, she got in the way of his dream, his most precious thing. The realization of what she has just done is hitting her. Hector, she calls, extending her hand, her will weakening the ropes unconsciously. But Hector is done with this world. Goodbye, Jasmine, and he pressed the button. He disappears soundlessly and suddenly. He was there, and then he wasn't. Simple was that. Jasmine stays frozen in place, her eyes trembling, she doesn't want to do anything, frozen in time, in this moment, because this is the last moment with him. If she moves, reality will settle in, and she will have to deal with the fact that he lost him forever. Sob sniff she can't stop her tears, she falls on her knees and cries. She wants to say to him that she doesn't mean it, that she would simply miss him so much that he needs to do something, she can't just let him walk away, that she would regret not trying as much as he would regret staying. But no words leave her mouth, because she knows it is useless, he can't hear anymore. In another world, Hector is just a little better. He is ignoring his surroundings, sitting on a box in an alley, fingers interlocked beneath his chin while he stares forward with vacant eyes. After an unknown amount of time, he sighs loudly and runs a hand through his face till the back of his head. He is feeling regret, not because he started all of this by accepting her marriage proposal in the beginning, no. Hector was ready for the consequences. He regrets leaving so suddenly, he knows Jasmine, he spent a year with her, so he knows that incident is just her panicking and acting stupid. It's different from fully bad intent. That can't erase the whole year of trust she created, but she pissed him off. Messing with his freedom is a big taboo. At that moment, he was very angry with her, he wanted to hurt her, and he knew that leaving would do just that. It's on the spur of the moment, but it was on purpose, a calculated action to hurt her. It came from a dark place, but it was still him, no excuses. And he thought that he was so mature, now he discovered he is not. He still thinks that he is justified in getting angry, but now he is feeling bad for hurting her. He loves her. He sighs again. Then he cringes, and then he sighs one more time. Then he shouts, and then he slaps his own face. Fuck, suffering now is useless. He stands up. He is still hurt, but he will push forward. He was prepared for things like this since day one. It helped now, he knew that it would not be a wish fulfillment vacation. Good things come and end, and bad things happen. He is ready to live and survive through all of them. From now on, no women. No, he remembers himself. Let's use world attunement and go get those talismans. He focuses again, gazing straight at the present and future. 52 comments 0 vote. The 12 talismans. Hector POV. Huff, after using world attunement, I feel incredibly refreshed. It even washed away some of my sadness. This confirms that it affects more than my body. Initially, I thought that it would be a waste to use world attunement in a world like this, without a proper power system to learn and thrive. The thing is, I am not ready for these strong worlds for now. Chakra, Haki, Riryoku, Nen, all on my list, and I will probably spend years in the respective worlds to learn them. And enjoy the world per se, of course. That is very important. I love those shonen anime, and I even planned my shonen training arc already. For now, I will use world attunement in low-level magical, spiritual, or any world that is a little special so that I can increase my talent to the fated time that I will be able to enjoy my adventures. Who would not want to be a genius, right? Ah, man, jutsus and Harry Potter wizardry are so op and convenient, I really want it. But I need to be patient. I also want to be a strong and talented person when I get there. There's a lot of danger in the shape of mind magic and jutsus. Those esoteric things scare me for now. I can't drop on the One Piece world weaker than Usopp, for example. And being stronger will allow me to enjoy more. Again, that is very important. That is only half the reason I chose the world of Jackie Chan adventures. In truth, it is the reason I waited till now to come here. This world has some spirituality and magic, so world attunement would benefit me more than if I used it in a normal modern setting like John Wick or The Walking Dead. Those powerless and modern worlds are only good for me to get resources. This one here is magical enough to give me a nice boost, but not dangerous enough to be worrying, and the most important reason, it has items of power that I can use immediately. The famous 12 talismans. With them, I will be able to have an easy jump in power. When NZT Boosted Hector made the list, I was surprised by the number of seemingly children's cartoon that has a lot of useful things for me. I will go get them before my shonen training arc. The Jackie Chan Adventures is first in the list because of the high reward and low risk. I also like the cartoon, and it is also modern, and I can learn martial arts too, and it was very short. Okay, before I become like Uncle Listing, one more thing, let's go grab those talismans. Ah, and one more thing, because I watched it, I know where all of them are. It was a cartoon old enough that I could download from pirate sites to watch and study the plot offline. This will be easy. This one should be the first, I say while checking the holographic list coming from my wristwatch. My travel powers give me some freedom to choose the location where I drop in. It can be any place, plot relevant, so unfortunately, I can't drop off at my destination directly, in this case. The island of Galapagos houses a turtle named Aesop, and ironically, in its shell, the rabbit talisman rests. In the cartoon, 2 researchers bring the turtle to San Francisco, but at this point in the timeline, the Aesop is still chilling in Galapagos. From the 12 zodiac-based talismans, this one obviously gives the user superspeed. I don't know the exact numbers, but it will not be anything crazy, I'm sure, but it will be a boost. It's probably the best talisman to fight and search for the others. Probably the only talisman that can threaten me too, so I want it out of the market. I underestimated a little how long it would take to find this damn turtle. After wasting hours, I almost gave up and went to grab another talisman, like the ones that are in a motionless place and not in an animal. But I push forward, my vision is good enough to allow me to fly over the islands and check downwards like a thin comb. The turtle may be under something, like inside a cave, or moving at superspeed. Am I that unlucky that this turtle is moving to the places that I'm not looking at the moment? Avoiding me unknowingly. And I spent more and more hours searching for a damn turtle. It reached a point where I am simply existing. Having pulled out the magic carpet from my inventory, yes, I brought it and letting it fly freely while I lie on my stomach, my head hanging over the edge, while I look down. It feels like I'm grinding for a rare item, I yawn. Wow, when was the last time I yawned? My eyesight now is 20/20, maybe even better, and I still can't find this turtle. The worst part is that I searched the island on foot, running and jumping from place to place, but I searched. Will I really need to go full hunting? Tracking and sniffing around. The fear that maybe the turtle it is not here appears in my mind. Ah, come on, not even a day has passed since I arrived in this world, a butterfly effect couldn't have affected this place so fast. I didn't even interact with anything. That is how important the rabbit talisman is for me. At this point, Jackie must be fighting for the rooster talisman. It's night, but my eyesight is good enough that a full moon makes things as clear as the day to me. During my yawn, while my narrowed eyes are blurry because of the moisture of my tears, I caught something, the blur moved in the corner of my eye. Quote exclamation mark exclamation mark exclamation mark quote. I go full attention instantly, yanking the magic carpet to make it do a vertical 360 turn. I need to clutch it tightly, but my legs dangle in the air while one hand holds the carpet. Despite the awkward situation, my eyes are fixed on one point. There, I laugh and release my hand so that I can fall and float on my own, yoink. The same hand that was holding the carpet moved forward in a snatch movement, and I removed the turtle from the ground. The talisman imbued in the middle of its shell is unmistakable, and how fast its legs are moving while I keep it locked in the air is the last confirmation needed. It's kinda cute. All my anger from this damn turtle disappeared after I caught it. Yep, exactly like grinding in a game, when you succeed in getting the item you want, everything becomes worthwhile. There, calm down, little turtle. I talk with the not-so-little turtle in a soft voice. The thing is scared as heck, but I can't do much about it. It will be over in an instant. Turning her around slowly, I ignore the magic carpet landing close to me and reach for the octagonal rock talisman with purple markings in the shape of a rabbit. Very carefully, I reach with my telekinesis, even putting my fingers very close to increase my precision, and probe it. A little tight, so it will be better if I do it quickly, like pulling a tooth. I give some strong pats on its shell, above the talisman, and then I pull suddenly. Tack, it comes off in one go, and in my hands I hold the rabbit talisman. Quote. I should acquire some powers to create thunder behind me when I do dramatic poses like this one. I put the turtle down, and it simply walks away from me at a slow pace. It's just a chill dude. First things first, I need to test some things, 2 things, more exactly. Let's see how fast it makes me and if stacks, or if caps at a certain point. I'm already pretty fast, so I hope it's a multiplier. Gripping the talisman tightly, I willed it to work, and it worked just like that. I can feel power pulsing through me and whoosh zoom, ... Ha 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 ha, that is fun as heck. Speed is really the best stat. I'm really moving much faster than I could normally do, so maybe it multiplies the base speed of the person. But I think there's a limit. This magic is not all powerful after all. I broke the sound barrier. This talisman will be more than enough to use for a long time. It's a good starting item, I comment, and second, it doesn't work just with running or other physical activity. It increased my flight speed with telekinesis, too. That's huge. I was ready to just use it in fights, but being able to increase my travel speed is an excellent bonus. And talking about travel speed, now to Brazil, I say while putting the talisman on the magic carpet. The symbol shines in WHOOOOOOOSH. I almost fell back thanks to the increase in speed. If I were not strong and had telekinesis to hold on, I would have lost the skin of my face, haha. But the multiplier is not exact, that's why I think there's a limit. It's not as fast as it should be if multiplied like when I used it. ... Some hours later and I'm leaving that old temple with the snake talisman in my hands. The traps, mechanisms, and even the snakes are useless against me, so I got it pretty easily. Theoretically, I should go to the area with the most concentration of talismans to get them quickly, but the snake talisman's power of invisibility will help me get the rest too. With a press of a button, my wristwatch shows the information relevant to this world that I prepared beforehand. It goes from information about the characters to the locations of the talismans, and even to the plot. I pass the page, after the list of talismans, to show a holographic image of the planet with the locations of the talismans. While going to San Francisco, I can grab the Ox talisman in Mexico, and then it's over to this world. They will not have enough firepower to deal with me after that. I can make a detour and grab the Dragon talisman in Hawaii, too. The location of the Tiger talisman is in Texas, which would be the correct next target after leaving Mexico because they are close, but the talisman only appeared in that eating pie contest. It's an item that you can only acquire during an event. I'm also not in a hurry for this one, and I can always get the talisman locator that Shendu gave to his minions. There are a lot of talismans in Europe too, but the most troublesome one will be the monkey talisman that is sunken in the ocean. I also need to get the rat talisman in San Francisco. That is the one that allows Shendu to animate himself, being free from his confinement as a statue. I can't allow any butterfly effect that can make things worse. The sheep talisman also frees the dragon guy in its own way, but it is in Turkey. Taking some last pictures of this hidden temple, which is pretty cool. I hop on the magic carpet and start heading north. I can stay up a lot of time without sleep, so let's push a little more in the beginning. After that, I will need to confirm if they can locate the talismans inside my inventory. I sigh. This will be super important. It will decide how I will be spending my next year here in this world. I want to try something, but if I become a beacon filled with talismans, things will be complicated, and I also can't hide them somewhere else. The safest place is still with me. I will have to roll with it while I'm enemies with everyone. Now that I think about it, it can be pretty fun. It's morning already in Mexico. Unfortunately, this is the year 2000, so I can't use the internet as a reliable source of all kinds of information. Fortunately for me, El Toro Fuerte is a pretty famous guy around here. The invincible wrestler is a legend. His great bullshit feats of strength also helped bring him popularity. Weird that no one finds it strange. I guess people can accept that one guy is built differently. He is pretty big, too. But he is a cheater, not that I blame him. Cheater is just a fancy word for winner. And the guy went and proved that he is more than the ox talisman that gives him super strength eventually. Anyway, as luck would have it, El Toro Fuerte fought yesterday. So I just missed the chance of an easy grab. I tried to ask some locals if they knew where he lives or where he is staying because I'm a fan, but none could give me an answer. The guy is secretive. Understandable, really. I don't think they are lying to me. I speak perfect Spanish because of the learning chambers I got in the post-apocalyptic world. Not only Spanish, but all the most popular languages of the world. Locals are nice to people who speak their language, so I made some friends easily. I found that fanboy too. Now I know he will fight again next week, at the same place. The problem is that the ox talisman is literally the second talisman that appears on the cartoon, so it will probably be next week that the specific episode happens. Should I let it happen and steal it amidst the confusion? No, that would reveal the existence of a third party, but do I even care? For now, yes. I want to try something before becoming enemies with everyone, including Section 13, that spy organization. If there is one thing that is even more annoying than a dragon sorcerer is a spy organization in my ass. And I also don't want to kill the good guys here, but I don't think they will trust my word that I don't want to use the talismans for any nefarious purposes. It will be a lie, too, because I plan to steal some things to restock. Just a little. Yeah, better to get this ox talisman now before things get complicated. If the guy performs every week here, it means that he must stay close, right? So I will fucking stay right here and wait. Now that I have invisibility, should I enter a women's bathhouse? Just for the experience, I can simply hover in the sky while observing this town and waiting for the guy to appear. Even if he doesn't fight, he must appear in the arena or at some gym. Waiting paid off, even if I wasted hours and hours floating in the air. But when it compares with the whole year that I will be spending in this world, it's not that bad. I even have time to contemplate silly things like whether I can get a tan while invisible. I mean, I was under the hot Mexican sun for a long time, and I think my brain fried a little. Normally, if the snake talisman is deflecting light around me to make me invisible, I wouldn't be able to see either. But the talisman is magic, and magic is bullshit, as the genie said. It just works, like King Crimson. I found the masked wrestler when he went to have some lunch. It seems he knows the place and is friends with the owner. There's a picture of him on the wall. He talked with a lot of people, greeting them and all that. But because they didn't create a crowd around him, I think his appearance is nothing new or rare. I waited for the man to finish his meal. I'm not a savage. He paid for many people nearby, too. A little problem happens because the end of his meal is like a green light to more people to approach him, so I need to wait longer. It's okay, I don't want to humiliate the guy in front of his fans either. I like this guy. I hope he can bounce back after I take the talisman. Not that I care if he doesn't. I will not lose any sleep over destroying his career. I'm a patient man, and now that I have him in my sights, I'm much more relaxed, so I will just wait for him to do his thing before I strike. The opportunity appears when he goes back home. The guy apparently lives on a trailer. This will be easier than I expected. With my newly acquired invisibility, I snuck behind him and waited for him to do anything that needed to remove his mask, but he doesn't. The guy remains in character all the time. Do you even take a bath, dude? Okay, 1 hour is enough. While he was curling some iron, still wearing his mask, I raised my hand and, with a pulling motion, ripped off his talisman, half of the mask coming with it. Only the part that is tight around his neck prevented the whole thing from being ripped off his face completely. He shouts. Esto no es para ti, hombre. Conviértete en un verdadero luchador o colgar la máscara para siempre. I say in Spanish, this is not for you, dude. Become a real wrestler or put the mask aside forever. He looks straight at me, even though I am invisible, because I make the ox talisman slowly float above my palm before I remove it from the remains of his mask and throw the mask back at him. I don't stay to talk more. I don't care how he will interpret this, the message was delivered. He may think God took his blessing, that some alien, what I want is for him not to hang onto his talisman, like going searching for it. He should give up on it. If he has no hope of finding it, he will be forced to focus on the real and important issue. It's the only thing I can do for him, put him in the right direction. Hasta nunca más. Till never. ... 3 talismans in 2 days is a good number. It could have been more, and I think I can get all of them in less than a week, but I will be happy with this last one for now and let the others do the work for me. The magic carpet lands on the volcano in Hawaii, and I enter the cave while holding the ox talisman. To test my strength, I casually punch a rock nearby, making it become dust. Boom. Yep, it's making me stronger. I'm already strong, but the boost is welcome till I improve by myself. Does this talisman also increase durability? I think no, the dog talisman that gives immortality, but is more of a healing factor than bulletproof skin. Or is the horse one that is a healing factor? Not that I'm worried about bullets, they can't reach my organs anyway. The healing factor will be welcome too. Checking the map again, I remind myself that the dog talisman is in the Netherlands, on a windmill. Pretty easy to grab, but a little far. There's something I want to try before going to Europe. There are some talismans here in America, too. Jackie and company must have the rooster talisman by now. The rat is in San Francisco, and the tiger is still in Texas. I will search the rat talisman after this. Can't let Shendu have it. Without anyone to get on my way, I easily found the dragon talisman in the deepest parts of the volcanic cave. This is too fucking easy. I laugh. Oh man, being an omniversal traveler is too easy. A telekinetic grasp later, and I have another talisman in my hands. A third of the way already. I obviously need to test it, but I'm not dumb enough to do this in a cave, so I walked outside and looked for another rock. The dragon talisman goes on my palm, and I extend it, and then a burst of fire is emitted from it. I can feel the heat, but I don't get burned. I try something different. Holding the talisman in my right hand, I extend my left to try to shoot fire from there. Whoosh. And I succeed. Interesting, I don't need to hold the talisman in the hand that I create fire. I always thought the pig and the dragon talismans were a little similar, but the dragon talisman appears to be a little better. This reminds me. I open my mouth and try to spit fire. ... And nothing comes out. That's embarrassing. I'm glad no one saw that. So only Shendu can shoot fire because he is a dragon? Or is it an innate ability? Maybe it's a mastery issue. Well, the answer to that is it will only appear in the future. I can only write down that this talisman allows me to shoot fire from my hands for now. ... With 4 talismans in my inventory, I travel to San Francisco, the plot nexus of this world. San Francisco, I jokingly make a disgusting face while flying over the place. This place has too many steep roads, walking here must be hell half the time. That bridge is cool though. Once again, I need to look around to find the right location, but at least the place of search is reduced to Chinatown from here. Speaking some Mandarin to gain brownie points, I find what I'm looking for quicker than I expected. An old antique shop, the old antique shop. Uncle's rare finds. The aesthetic, the yellow paint, the red roof, so great. I love my power that allowed me to be here. I enter the shop, and a bell rings when I open the door. Coming, an aged, very recognizable voice, shouts from the back. I can't help but smile a little while looking around the organized mess of books and artifacts. It smells exactly like how I expected. Never thought smelling things would be interesting. You can't smell the media of anything you consume. It's good to discover how things smell. How do some of my waifus smell? It's only curiosity, I'm not a pervert. While I was lost in those strange thoughts, the man I'm looking for finally appeared. Uncle Chan, the old Asina man with thin gray hair, wearing blue pants, a white shirt, and a yellow polyester vest. He also wears small armless glasses. Welcome, welcome, how can I help you? He says in his thick Chinese accent. His face has the smile of a seller. I decided to be direct, I'm not here to buy anything. Bah, then buy, don't waste my time. His smile evaporates and he turns around and starts walking away. Quote. Peef, ha ha ha, okay, don't laugh, I'm a student conducting research on ancient Chinese history, I wanted to work here while studying. Not hiring, not hiring. He waves his hand without even turning around. I don't need to be paid. A roof and 3 meals will be enough. I will be using this place to study, so treat me like an intern. You're hired. Quote. That's easy. 9 comments 0 vote. I will know Kung Fu. Third person POV. Jackie Chan sighs tiredly after finally arriving at Uncle's shop. He just had a hell of a night. It was an emergency, but he needed to tell his old friend Black that it would not repeat in the future. He is not a secret agent, he is an archaeologist. That was awesome. When are we gonna do something like this again? Completely opposite to his mindset, his first cousin once removed, and technically niece, Jade, talks excitedly about the previous night's adventure. Never. He turns to her strongly. The talismans are forces beyond us, this is the responsibility of capable people of Section 13. But Jackie, we are capable. Jade whines. No, we are in danger. Jackie corrects in an educational tone. Now let's forget everything that happened and continue with our lives. He opened the door to the shop. The bell on the front rings while he announces, Uncle, I'm back. But surprise hits Jackie when he sees a stranger in the store. First, the store is unpopular enough that it rarely has customers, and second, it doesn't look like a customer because the strange youngster is organizing the shelves. No, no, no. That goes over there. Don't change that. He hears Uncle shouting at the young man while hitting him with a fan. You asked me to organize, but don't want me to change anything. You are organizing it wrong. Then tell me what you want clearly. Don't put the products on the lowest shelf. Do you want me to strain my back grabbing it? Uncle hits him again. Is that what you want? To kill me? Don't be dramatic. Hector chuckles and receives another hit. He can't help but find it amusing, even if this is work abuse. Some days ago, he was living a life of opulence with his exotic princess wife, but now he is being swatted by a grumpy old Asian guy. Ups and downs, I guess. He laughs in his mind. Jackie finally gets out of his shock and asks his uncle, Uncle, who is this? Oh, Jackie, Jade. Finally back, Uncle exclaims, this is my new intern. He is a good kid. He smiles. I am. Why are you hitting me then? Less talking, more working. Another hit. Quote. Uncle, when did you get an employee? Jackie asks, confused. Intern. It means I don't need to pay him. Uncle corrects. Instead of letting Uncle answer, Hector steps forward. Uncle can accept his vague backstory and reasons because he is, well, Uncle. But Jackie can get suspicious if things are not explained properly. Nice to meet you, Mr. Chan. I'm a college student doing some research in ancient Chinese history, culture, and even fables. He shook his hand. I hope I will not be imposing if I stay here for some months. Jackie, the ever-polite and humble guy, of course, would never say that he can't stay. Oh, a student, from where? I'm getting a master's degree in history, trying to be a teacher. Hector unravels his prepared web of lies. It can't be easily proven wrong with a call or any minor investigation, but he doesn't care. He is curious to see how far he can take it. It seems pretty far. All night, he stayed awake waiting for S.H.I.E.L.D. wannabes to appear and try to capture him, but they never came. He has no documents and is in no database. He thought a spy organization would be more paranoid. Maybe Black respects Jackie Chan enough not to put bugs in the shop, and they still don't know of his existence. Hector is taking it easy, just doing what Uncle asks. Despite the old grumpy guy being demanding, there is not a lot to do in this quiet antique shop. The free time allowed him to go through the books, the ones to sell and the ones from Uncle's personal library. He finally started to learn a little about the magic secretly, all under the guise of his research. As expected, nothing that I would use in a fight. Hector comments while taking pictures of the pages to create a digital copy, and at the same time, scribbling some important notes in his textbook. Magic in this universe is not like what one would see in a world of magic and swords inspired by Dungeons and Dragons. It's like old medicine that really works. With a conjunction of prayers, movements, and other mediums, you can reach the desired effect. Hector saw that Uncle mostly has cures for curses, possessions, and any other affliction. Hence why he compared it with medicine. It must be because he is specialized in the light side of magic. He comments, betting that Shendu must know some offensive magic. But he is not disappointed. He never expected to learn how to throw a fireball here or anything like that. He is more than happy to simply increase his knowledge in magic theory. Well, this looks more like shamanism, or even better, Taoism, he shrugs while writing down what is needed to protect your home from a jiangshi. The undead creatures can't enter a place where a paper talisman in the 4 cardinal directions is written with the name of sun-based creatures like Jinwu, Zulong, Fengwang, and more. Yin and Yang energy, it's chi-based spells, instead of mana. He makes a drawing of the taijutsu, which seems very important in this power system. What are you doing? Suddenly, a childish voice interrupts his thoughts. He turns to the side to see Jade Chan staring at him with her big eyes filled with curiosity. Studying? Shouldn't you be doing your homework, too? Hector shoots back. I don't have homework today. She looks away, obviously lying. Those are Uncle's old books. She climbs the table and looks at the organized mess Hector is going through. He obviously put away his high-tech things and any other incriminating items fast, leaving only a blank notebook and a lot of scattered papers. Do you believe in magic? She asks curiously, gauging Hector's reaction in a way a young kid normally would not do. But Jade is not a normal kid, she is surprisingly smart and observant for her age. Who knows? Hector gives a boring answer. It doesn't matter, it's just that it makes a lot of sense, and I was writing a chapter of my thesis on how modern medicine derived from unclear practices that would be considered magic in the past. She narrows her big eyes at him. Quote. Hector just stays still under the scrutiny of the small child. So, I heard you moved here recently, are you adjusting? He tries to distract her with some normal questions that you would ask a child. Yeah, it has been fun, she says, trying to play it off, hiding the truth about her adventures. Fun? How so? It's a secret, she replies with a big smug smile. I see, if one day you want to share some of that fun with me, I will be here. I can't do that, you would be in danger, she says loudly before lowering her tone to whisper conspiratorially. And you would not, Hector raises an eyebrow at her. It's because I'm strong, she declares while standing up on the table, striking a sloppy kung fu stance, and Jackie is super strong too. She continues proudly, trying a flying kick, but she slips on a paper and almost hits her head. Luckily, Hector easily caught her in a calm way. I see, but please don't try any dangerous kung fu moves on the table. He chuckles, and I'm pretty strong too, you know. I have been in my fair share of fights. You did. The wide-eyed Jade, who has just gone through a dangerous experience, gives him another suspicious look. Looking at him up and down in that shameless and honestly judgmental way only a kid can do. You don't look like much. Ouch, he laughs. In his young adult form and wearing loose clothes, Hector can pass as the skinny type. He has a sleeper build, after all. How can you say that? Look at those muscles. To protect his honor against this 11-year-old girl, he rolls up his sleeve and flexes his arm to show his biceps. Ooh, she pokes his arm with wide eyes. Right, he brags. But Jackie is still stronger. She ends up saying. If you say so, I confess that I'm not any martial artist. Hector shrugs, not willing to argue on that with a child who has her uncle as a hero. And he likes Jackie Chan too. HMPF, that is why Jackie is strong. Jade once again strikes a kung fu pose, now moving slower, like practicing Tai Chi. Strength without purpose is meaningless. She quotes from someone, trying to sound wise. I can agree with that. Hector nods, that's why I asked Uncle Boss to teach me a little after seeing him grab a falling vase with the tip of his foot. Oh, so you too. I asked Jackie to teach me, but he has left me hanging. Jade huffs and sits on the table before crossing her arms with a pout. Patience, little grasshopper, your time will come, he pokes her head. Shut up, she replies, annoyed, wait till I learn kung fu, I'm gonna kick your ass. Hee-ah, she jumped off the table and kicked the air. I thought kung fu was for self-defense only, you know, mastering of your body and all that. No, it's to beat up bad guys. So I'm a bad guy. Jade looks him up and down again. That is yet to be seen, she says, acting mysteriously, her arms moving around weirdly while she retreats by walking backward till she leaves. Funny kid, still as annoying as I remember from the cartoon. Hector chuckles. ... Hector POV. It takes some more days for me to finally see Jackie Chan in action. The people of Dark Hand came to the shop trying to recover the rooster talisman that is not here anymore, so they came knocking out. All three doofus. Finn, Ratso and Chow. There's Toru, too. All of them exactly like how I remembered, Finn with his full white suit, Ratso looking like Frankenstein's monster, and Chow looking like a rat. Shouldn't he be called Ratso then? The front door was destroyed suddenly, and the Dark Hand barges in. Dark Hand, hee, so edgy and so inaccurate. None of them is even wearing a glove or anything. Jackie Chan, who is on the other floor, came quickly to see what was happening. You guys, Chan, Toru says with a dangerous edge in his voice, hand over the talisman. It's not here, quote. Toru, the sumo guy, looks at his hand, the talisman locator shines, lies. And he attacks. Oops, my bad, so it can really detect me. Despite being the one at fault, I just stay out of the way, observing the fight from a close distance. Anyone familiar with Jackie Chan movies knows his fight style, the unpredictability and resourcefulness. Everything can turn into a weapon, some into a hilarious way. I also noticed how he is still holding back. He could very well have grabbed that ceremonial dagger and killed them, but instead, he took a plate and hit them on the head. Lol, oh yeah, I forgot to record. I watched Jackie do a lot of acrobatics in this very packed shop, avoiding damage to anything while using everything to his advantage. The three doofus have no chance against him. Meanwhile, Toru stays still in the middle of the shop, his fat face scrunching in concentration while he looks at the talisman locator in his hand. The device is a torque-like handle with 4 dragon heads pointing in all directions. If I remember well, a dragon head will light up to direct the user to the nearest location. The problem appears to be the fact that all 4 heads are shining. So the talisman locator can feel my talisman but can't pinpoint their location in my inventory. Well, I never discovered how my pocket dimension worked. Is it in an infinitesimally small space inside my body? Or is it all over me in the 4th dimension? It seems to be something close to the last option. This raises some worries. Maybe someone well-versed in space manipulation can invade my inventory. Well, it's a good inventory for something acquired in a low-level world. One day, I will get a better one. Toru looks annoyed, looking around for where the talisman can be. I can almost see the gears turning on his head, maybe thinking the thing is under some sort of magic protection. Then, he spots Jade hiding while watching Jackie Chan kick ass. Did you eat the talisman again, girl? He reaches for her with his big hand. Quote exclamation mark. Quote. Jade shows a scared expression, but she has nowhere to run in this small, and packed with merchandise, shop. Toru grabs her by her orange jacket. Damn, his fist is almost as big as her torso. Jade, Jackie shorts, worried, but he is being held back by the doofus trio. Well, I think that is the moment that I interfere. I sneak around Toru, going around unnoticed thanks to the noisy fight. Toru only noticed me when I was on his side, crouching down with my fist ready for an uppercut, but I don't punch his chin, no. It would be problematic with his huge belly and thick neck. People would find it suspicious if I sent the man flying with a punch. So I grabbed the wrist that he is holding jazzed and punched his elbow. Thwack. I held back. I like Toru even if he is evil now, so I didn't break his bones, but dislocated his elbow. Arg. He predictably released Jade, but to my surprise, he also let go of the talisman locator so that he could grab his forearm with a free hand. I would not lose the chance, yoink. With a telekinetic pull, I made the talisman locator discreetly fall in my direction, rolling on the ground and going around me before shooting into my hand that I put out of sight of everyone. Then I made it disappear in my inventory. Thanks for the magical device, suckers. Seriously, those guys are kind of incompetent, cartoon villains, am I right? I still had the time to grab Jade before she fell on the ground. Let's run. I say, I don't want to reveal that I am more than I look. It seems my timing is good, or maybe cursed. I was just complaining about the incompetence of those thugs, and now the shadows are moving strangely. Uho, I know what this is. With an eerie silence, the Shotokan rise from the shadows. Those cool ninjas in black clothes and red eyes filled the shop. Can I get some of them? There are the masks, right? I don't know if I will stay long enough for that season, and the risks are big, but maybe I can try. The genie's protection can maybe push away the corruption of the masks, but then there would come the problem if I could take the Shotokan with me on my travels. Whatever, mindless loyal minions would be good, but it's not a priority now. It's not like I will settle and build a base. I also have my made robot and schematics for other types of droids. Heck, I can go to the Star Wars universe just for that. I may not be able to become force sensitive as I am now, but the technology there would be worth a trip. And I can kinda simulate the force with my telekinesis. And I will not need the force to use a lightsaber. I will be absolutely stealing some. General Grievous, at least, will be losing his spot as collector of lightsabers to me. Pushing aside the thought of lightsabers, I am absolutely going for the Darksaber or Anakin's blue one. I focus on the now and start climbing the stairs to the upper floors. But some Shotokan follow me. It's strange, the super senses that I acquired after training with the Hercules method would help me pinpoint anyone so close to me. Their heat, breathing, steps, air movement, and even their heartbeat if they are very close. But I can't hear or feel shit from them. This is true stealth. Magic is such bullshit. Wait. The air is slightly colder, I see, a chilling presence, Nothing is perfect, I can adapt. I smile and dodge quickly to the side after feeling a gust of cold wind on my nape. The Shotokan that tried to dropkick me went straight to the wall, and I took the opportunity to give him a kick on my own. A brutish thing with a lot of strength. Bam! The thing becomes shadows that sink to the ground. Wow! Jade exclaims in my arms. I told you I'm strong. I said before noticing more Shotokan surrounding us here on the second floor. Can you guys leave? I just cleaned this place. They narrowed their eyes and took out shuriken from who knows where. Aw man, Uncle Boss will get pissed, I mutter. I can't stop those shuriken without revealing my telekinetic powers. There will be a lot of holes in the furniture and walls when this is over. I don't have a lot of time to sigh for the future before a barrage of shurikens starts flying at me. Okay. Itachi vs Sasuke, chill. Holding Jade, I jump in front of a big chest that Uncle keeps locked, probably with dangerous stuff, and that I rightfully guessed to be resistant enough to stop the barrage. The tap-tap of shuriken hitting the probably 1,000-year-old wood reaches my ears. What are we gonna do? Jade asks in panic. You will stay here. I will go out there and kick their asses. I say. But they are ninjas, she protests. And I am an average male in his 20s. Nothing that they can throw at me will hurt anyway. I joke before finally emerging when the tap-tap sound stops. Sorry, Uncle, I say in my mind as I grab a book that I already read and throw it at a Shotokan. The thing hits the ninja straight on his forehead, and he falls backward. The effectiveness surprises me, so I just grabbed a pile of books and threw them like frisbees. It hits 2 more in the chest, but the rest are avoided by jumping around. Their acrobatics are great, jumping from the ground to the wall, to the ceiling, and then to the wall again. But jumping around can confuse certain people, but not an experienced enemy. I'm not that experienced, but my reflexes are good enough that I can calmly read their trajectory and bam, punch in the gut and bam, in another one. One tries to jump on my shoulders and maybe break my neck, but by tensing my muscles I stop his attempt. Then it's just a matter of reaching back and wham, slamming him into the ground. The last 2 tried to properly fight me, and ironically, they are the ones that have the best performance. No sneaky ninja shit, they simply throw hands in a very organized way. Their timing is perfect, the katas used in unison do not give me time to breathe. Using only my 2 arms to defend against 4 limbs is complicated, even if I outscale them. I was put on the defensive for a good minute. This situation needs to be broken, and I don't think those shadow ninjas need to worry about stamina, so it is in my hands to do something. While I'm walking backwards, my heel hits something. A normal guy would have tripped, but I see an opportunity. I step back over it and, while still defending, I kick the piece of furniture that now I see as a small box in the head of one of the ninjas. He stops, so I can focus on the one attacking, now 2 arms to grab the bastard, my fingers curling around his dark sleeve. Oh, now your eyes widen, huh? Not so emotionless after all. Bam, I use one motherfucker to hit the other motherfucker. I don't let my guard down, though. Ninjas are sneaky, right? Whoa, I turn around to see Jade watching with wide eyes. Told ya, Jackie is still stronger. She crosses her arms. Quote. Kids and their heroes. But I'm not gonna deny that I really need to improve my techniques and learn how to properly use my prowess. Well, that is why I'm here, right? ... As expected, reality is unforgiving. Destruction is not something that will be shrugged off in the next episode. The status quo will not be maintained, things will not reset. After the Dark Hand was defeated and taken away by agents of the Section 13, we still need to clean up the mess. What happened with my store? Uncle, who just returned from a little shopping trip, shouts to the 9 heavens. I will just keep my silence, it's kinda my fault, but I will not admit it. Jade then starts explaining, because Jackie was on the phone. Uncle, the guys from the Dark Hand, you know, the ones that attacked us that day, came and then asked for the talismans. Then Jackie needs to go high on them, then the big fat guy tried to grab me, then Hector saved me, then the shadow ninjas appeared and started throwing shurikens everywhere, and then... Wow, she says all that in 3 seconds. Eminem is shaking on his Jordans now. So it's true, it doesn't matter what you do, there's always an Asian kid that is better than you. After hearing the whole tale from Jade, Uncle hit JC with 2 fingers while blaming him for the mess. Hector, organize this mess. He shouts to me. I'm already doing this, I reply. Do it faster, he shouts unreasonably. At least he is also helping, so it's alright. While we are cleaning things, I ask, so, it's common for shadow ninjas to attack. Should I clean my schedule for the weekly kung fu fights? My tone was light and sarcastic. It's becoming annoyingly frequent. Jackie answers bashfully. Hee, I guess it's more exciting than reading ancient texts. I chuckle, then finally talk about one of my objectives here, any chance I can learn one of those sick kung fu moves. Haha, if you want, I can teach you a little. Jade also asked the same. You two can learn together. He answered and agreed so casually that it is almost surreal. I don't mind, that would be great. I reply with a smile, not even faking my excitement. I will be learning kung fu with Jackie Chan. I will finally be able to say, I know kung fu. ... Beyond learning kung fu, I obviously want to learn Kai magic. So while I was organizing the special books on the first floor with Uncle. Shadow ninjas are real, so are the things described in those books. I ask while holding a book about some ancient demons and exorcism. Like magic and all. Obviously, it's real. Do you think I keep fiction in my home? I'm not unemployed like you. Uncle answers. I'm literally working for you, and can anyone do it, or do you need some special lineage? What special lineage? Anyone with 2 legs can dance, some better than others. He huffs. So, what you mean is that I can learn it? I turn to him. Talk. 2 fingers hit my forehead. Magic is not something that you talk lightly, or learn lightly, or even uses lightly. He gives me a sermon. You young ones think everything is a hobby that you can take and leave without consequences. Not magic. Talk. Ouch, I was just thinking that it would be good to at least know what I can find out there. I mean, if evil magic exists, it only makes sense that I want to learn how to defend myself from it. I explain, I'm gonna try to learn what I can alone. With those books, can't you answer some questions when I need? I speak with an honest expression. Uncle thinks while massaging his chin. Then he turns around and starts leaving the room. Quote. Tomorrow will be your first lesson, don't expect much. He says, almost leaving the room, and finish cleaning everything here. Quote. Hoo, it's all coming together. Let's enjoy their hospitality till I am outed at the third party that is also seeking the talismans. 2 comments 0 vote, the good apprentice. ... Hector POV. I never liked that cliché where the main character or any other youngster was being trained by an obviously more experienced and capable master in a strange way, and they doubt the effectiveness of the training. Like, dude, trust the process. If he is making you carry milk every day, cleaning cars, or even outright beating you up, there must be a deeper hidden meaning that you are not seeing. Most of the time, it's just a way to go back to the basics and test your patience. Something they fail at when they start bitching up. So that is why I am holding my tongue right now. Don't pause, keep the rhythm, Uncle shouts while I perform a ridiculous dance. Jumping with only 1 foot, the opposing hand holding a dried sardine, and balancing a teapot with burning leaves on my head, that is the state I am right now. Don't ask me what the actual fuck I am doing because I don't know, and I will not ask. I'm trying to figure out by myself, maybe move my kai together with the dance, I don't know. I will just stop thinking. Good, very good, Uncle praises for some reason. Now repeat after me, Yu Mo Gui Gui Fi Di Zhao. Oh, there it is. The famous incantation, but is it just for me to say it? Like, shouldn't I be visualizing something? Opening my chakras, manipulating my Kai. Yu Mo Gui Gui Fi Di Zhao. Again, Yu Mo Gui Gui Fi Di Zhao. Louder, Yu Mo Gui Gui Fi Di Zhao. With each jump, Yu Mo Gui Gui Fi Di Zhao. While swinging the fish, Yu Mo Gui Gui Fi Di Zhao. I do as I told each time. I think I'm a good disciple, obedient, so where are the results? This embarrassing dance must work for something. Good, very good. Uncle praises emotionless while striking his Kai. You can stop now. I do as I told and bite back that's it. What in the actual fuck? Is this magic? The genie is right then, it doesn't make sense, it's just poof and it happens. But nothing is happening. Come help me with something. Uncle says while turning around and walking away. Quote. Did he end the practice so that I could help him and not because I did it right? Aw man, whatever, you can always do self-study when your teacher sucks. You have talent for this. Jackie Chan himself praises me with an impressed smile. Thank you, I answer humbly, staying beside Jade while we practice the same moves. I have no problem going through the kids course. Everyone starts from the beginning, and patience is one of my few qualities. Arg, Jade, on the other hand, is not that patient, getting increasingly frustrated every time she fails an exercise or a posture. Right now, she has just fallen on the ground while trying to put a foot high in the air and deliver a sequence of high kicks. She put it too high. Know your limits, girly. Quote. I look down on her while I pass over the 50th kick while keeping perfect balance and without touching the ground with my right foot once. How can you do that so easily? She finally asks while shouting. Patience, little grasshopper. I can't help but tease the brat, giving her my best smug smile while not pausing the kicks. I'm even looking down on her. Don't compare yourself to my genius, you're just gonna become even more frustrated. Quote. She stares at me for a good 5 seconds before narrowing her eyes and trying to sweep my leg with a low kick on my shin. The keyword here is, tried. Arg, from what your leg is made for. She learned a hard lesson in the shape of my unmoving leg. This brat is funny, she is even jumping comically while holding her foot. Jade, Jackie gives her a reproachful look that promises nasty pulling of her ear, so I decide to help the twerp. Stopping my kicks, I talk before Jackie punishes her. Comparison is the thief of joy, little brat. I'm older, and despite starting at the same time on Kung Fu with you, I am more developed and have a good foundation with sports and other physical activities. It's like if we are gonna race, we can start on the same line and run the same distance, but my legs are larger and I have a good tennis shoe, while you are barefoot. Quote. She pouts, only half convinced. Come on, let's continue training, it's just different timeframes. Did you even think that when you reach my age, you are gonna be better than me right now? Oh, it's true. Her eyes lit up. While you're getting old, I will be getting stronger. I will be the strongest and youngest martial artist. She starts throwing punches at the air, hyped to train again. Then I'm gonna beat you up. Quote. I guess that worked, even if her motivation is not in the right place. Days later, I'm stuck helping Uncle prepare something inside a cauldron in a very witchy style. Thankfully, this is not the 15th century, and we are not women, or we would be burning in a plaza. Too quickly. Move it slow, he shouts at me. At his orders, I start mixing the concoction more slowly. It's just the two of us today because Jackie went to get a talisman, and Jade followed. I thought about going too, but from what I overheard with my enhanced ear while Jackie was on the phone, he is going to get the monkey talisman. The one that can turn people and objects into animals. Cool power, very witchy, too, what a coincidence. The thing is, this talisman is not a tier 1 of priority, as I would classify it, and it is deep in the ocean of Micronesia. Yep, Micronesia is a real country. I thought that it was the universe version of Indonesia when I watched it. It's a bunch of islands north of Australia, looks like an incredible place to go on a tropical camping vacation. But you know, dive into the ocean for the talisman. No. When Jack goes to a talisman in Europe, I will follow secretly and get all of them there. For now, I will just let him and the rest do the work for me. The mantis stalks the cicada, unaware of the oriole behind it. I'm starting to use a lot of Chinese proverbs because of the ambience. Now I'm gonna add dried eel powder with, turned away if you like your eyebrows. Uncle warns. What? Boom. ... comma. It was a soup. I almost lost my eyebrows for a soup. It was not a complete waste of time, because with just a few more ingredients, it would become something that would help the body get rid of the effects of Jiaoliang. Now, what is that? I didn't know till I researched by myself. Something that I think I saw 100 times in novels, the imbalance of the body, the yin becoming excessive and causing symptoms similar to a cold. Well, at least I know what to do in case I need to save someone suffering from an abundance of yin energy. That, or I can do like most of the Chinese main characters and give them my yang energy. Only if she is a beautiful woman, of course. With jade-like clavicle and all that. ... I'm finally good enough to receive direct instruction from Jackie with a spar. Yesterday, he came back with the monkey talisman and put it on section 13. I followed him with the help of the snake talisman, and now I know how to get there. There's a phone booth some blocks away from here. But I only have one shot if I need to invade it. It will not be a sneaky mission. Right now, only 6 talismans remain, so my time is running short. Are you ready? Jackie asks across from me, putting his hands forward in a relaxed stance. Yes, please, I say respectfully, putting my own stance. I obviously have much higher stats than Jackie, even if he is stronger than one would normally be with his build. Cartoon logic, maybe. So I will hold back. Of course, I will not learn shit if I overpower everyone with my superior stats. Not that I will embarrass myself either. Now, different from Kai magic, martial arts are easy to learn, and I'm pretty good at it, too. Okay, all my knowledge came from playing Sifu and watching movies, but I have a platinum trophy in Sifu, and I watched a loot of fights through all kinds of movies. So it must count for something. And now, with my connection between body and mind being closer than a Chinese novel main character and their convenient master figure in a spiritual body, I can replicate almost perfectly the moves that I saw and remember. I still need some training to get used to it. After all, one thing is having a move in your repertoire, and the other is using it in a fight. You can start, Jackie says. Okay, then, excuse me. I always remember to keep my manners. I start with a probing light jab with my left hand while giving a quick step forward, my right hand ready to respond to his answer. Jackie evades by moving his head back and his feet to his right. His left hand grabbed my wrist at the same time his right hand struck my armpit. Ouch, I say and retreat. It didn't hurt. He held back, and I'm more durable than he thinks, but I can admit my loss. I see, you got out of my range and entered my blind spot, holding me in place in my awkward overextended position, and then attacked at the same time. It's not only about being fast, you did all of this at the same time because you predicted my move and were ready for it. He nods impressed. You have good eyes. This is a very important talent to a martial artist, not something you can learn easily. Thank you. My senses are overpowered. In truth, I'm still holding back because with the Hercules method I can see his muscles moving, see a little of the future, and all that, but then I would not learn. When you fight, you need to think many steps ahead. The farther you can see, the farther you will be ahead of your opponent. You will not be easily surprised, will not be caught flustered, and consequently, will not hesitate. He ends his teachings with a strong tone. See, those are the kind of things I would not figure out by myself because I have cheats giving me things in my hand. Thinking ahead, because I have a Walmart version of future sight of observations hockey, I always adopted a wait-and-see approach. It worked all the time because I'm fast enough to intercept my opponent's attacks even after I start moving after them. This will not fly if I find someone as fast as me, or even faster. Heck, I will have my ass handed to me if I find someone faster. My thoughts immediately go to the cheating option. I can use my telekinesis to remove my opponent's footing or something like this. And this annoys me more than I realized. The fact that my line of thought goes in that direction shows that I'm developing a loser, escapist mentality. No. Hector is no loser. My ideal self is a cool guy who is a master of all. Someone without weakness or blind spots. Someone who works hard with his no-earned gifts. I understand it now, I say while once again adopting a stance. Jackie does the same, getting serious, and I want to believe that he felt my resolve. I'm not leaving this universe till I get enough hands to distribute through a good chunk of the Omniverse. You are indeed incredibly talented. Jackie Chan himself praises me with some admiration in his tone. Thank you, I answer while faking being tired. Going for the Hercules method so early, it was really the right decision, even if I end up needing to clean that universe. It gave me talent beyond what I could have dreamed of. I'm not Yujiro Hanma, but I will get there. You need to work better at multitasking. If you think too much about the future, you will not be moving in the present. Jackie gives some advice. You need to do the two at the same time. Thinking ahead and responding in real time. Sounds hard, I comment. It is, only with a lot of practice, you will learn to do things on autopilot. Your trained body will move before you even think, but you will need a lot of experience. That and still have spatial awareness, I grumble. I'm not so naive as to think every fight will be a fair 1 versus 1. I can be ambushed, the space can restrict my movements, or the enemy can use the environment to their advantage, like how Jackie loves to do. That too, it's good that you think about those things, it proves that you have a good head on your shoulders. He chuckles, but don't think too much and overcomplicate things. Focus on mastering yourself first. Got it, I give him a thumbs up and he finally walks away from the little dojo. Things are going nicely, too bad it's time to play the mysterious villain now. Well, it can be fun too. I was distracted, and Jackie went to Europe without me even noticing. What a mistake, I guess I was too engrossed in training and by the fact that I already got all the best talismans. I can simply wait for them to get the rest before I steal them. My focus is also on the rat talisman, the one that can't fall into Shendu's hands no matter what. Despite the location being literally here in San Francisco, the timing is off. It will only appear at the time of the auction. It can be anywhere now, maybe a ruin, or a rich person's vault. Jackie went and came back before I even noticed, with the sheep talisman in his hands, giving it to Uncle to study. I know which episode this is, things are still under control. Maybe I should bug the phone so that something like this doesn't happen again. I don't want to do something like this with a spy organization as my neighbor, I'm not a specialist. I can't get complacent just because I think my technology is superior, they have some cool gadgets too, I saw them. Whatever, the talisman that I really want in Europe, the dog talisman, is still there. It's the dog and the pig that are caught in the same episode, one in the Netherlands and the other in Germany. Now, what to do with it? I ask myself while looking at the sheep talisman lying unprotected above an open book. And I thought I was careless by letting Jackie go out without checking where he was going. The main reason I missed his travel was that Jade was still here doing homework instead of sneaking behind him. I unconsciously thought that I just needed to pay attention to her sneaky behavior and I would be able to know when Jackie was leaving for a mission. She is easier to catch than Jackie, too. For example, now, she is tiptoeing close to the sheep talisman while looking around. I watch her from behind a shelf, look at that dumb kid. She couldn't act more suspicious than that. Instead of studying what it does, it is much easier to simply use it. I hear her murmur with a gremlin smile on her face. I wait for the right moment, when her little, ratty, fingers reach for the talisman. What are you doing? I move behind her and ask in a loud voice. She jumped like I just tased her neck. Jade turns fast, but not before grabbing the talisman and hiding behind her back, the little rat. Nothing, she says, her face is much more honest than her words. Oh, nothing, I say, unimpressed. Did you see Uncle? She asks to change the topic. An acquaintance called, said that he had some ingredients for him, but he needs to go there fast. Uncle would not miss a free taste of real China, so he went there practically running. I say, it seems old Chinese people around here have some sort of hidden rule where they share things that they got from relatives in their homeland. It's nice, even if they bicker all the time and call each other names, they are mostly a tight group. The last time a friend of Uncle appeared, he asked the guy why he was still alive. They are probably best friends. Jade laughs, half amused and half nervous, at my little joke. Well, I need to go, too, to do my homework. She says a little too loudly while walking sideways to hide her back. Look at you, when did you become so academically inclined? Doing your homework without anyone telling you. I use a fake, impressed voice. It's math, I love math, she lies. Please, Jade, you are not the stereotype Asian student. You are a tomboy brat that was sent here as a punishment. Bye. she says, now walking backwards to the door, still suspiciously hiding her back. Jade, I say slowly. What? Give me the talisman. I extend my hand, my face a deadpan mask. What? Wafut talisman, to be more suspicious, only if she was trying to whistle casually. Her eyes are even darting around. You know, the octagon made of stone, this size, specifically, the one with the turquoise sheep engraved in it and behind your back, of course. I say sarcastically. Oh, that one, she says slowly, her hands appearing in the talisman on her right hand. Oh wow, how did it get there? Quote. She gives me a smile full of teeth, but I just tap my foot impatiently. Hee hee, she still tries to play innocent. I was just gonna clean it, it's filled with dust, you know. She lies while putting it on my hand. Yeah, I will not tell Uncle or Jackie, just don't do it again. Those are not toys. I roll my eyes and put the talisman back in place. Ah, come on, Hector, don't tell me that you are not curious about what it can do. Now that the threat of me snitching on her is gone, she gets comfortable and tries to convince me to become her accomplice. I know what it is, I answer calmly and put the book that I was holding on the table and open it to the marked page. Here, the sheep talisman possesses the power of astral projection. I read. I already got the book explaining it because I was researching it since I started work here. Astral projection. She climbs a stool to look at the counter. It's an out-of-the-body experience. Your soul leaves your body, and you can interact only with the astral plane, not the material one. I explain. It can do more. It will probably be a very useful talisman in other universes. It may even be a tool for me to learn how to do astral projection on my own. So, like a ghost? She asks with a big smile. Yes, like a ghost. I say in a flat tone, but a boring ghost because you will not be able to haunt anyone. But if you want to be sneaky, I end with a shrug. I want to try. Please, Hector, let me try. Please, please, please. She starts jumping excitedly on the stool while her hands are on the counter. Please, big brother, please. Quote. I give her a side glance. No, why? Don't be stingy, she whines. Like I said, it's not a toy. Please, big brother Hector. Puiasi, she changes tactics to puppy eyes. Quote. I continue to stare at her with dead eyes. She is still trying to look pitiful, big eyes filling with tears, lips trembling. This girl is really a gremlin. I think about it a little. The plot of the episode happens because Jade used the sheep talisman without anyone seeing, and then the dark hand came and took it from her unconscious body. Shendu, with a talisman in hand in statue, really used it to possess Jade's empty body and tried to infiltrate Section 13 for the rest of the talismans. The plan obviously failed because Jackie took Shendu, in Jade's body, to the Moose World, the amusement park that Jade had wanted to go to for a long time. Wasting the villain's time. The episode ended with Uncle sealing Shendu back in his statue body, rendering the sheep talisman useless to him even if he had it. So to prevent all this shitshow from happening, I just need to prevent the sheep talisman from being stolen. And even if it happens, it will not with me here. I will be suspicious if Jade wakes up and acts strange. I sigh and say, the astral plane can be scary, you know. Maybe some ghost will possess your body. My words make her flinch. Are you sure you want to do this? Yes, but she doesn't back down. She is braver than she is tall, I will give her that. Reckless, but brave. Please, big brother, she continues, seeing that I am almost folding. Fine, I finally say, and she cheers loudly. I stop her. Don't shout, remember that Jackie is sleeping. Do you want us to be caught? Quote. Quote. She quickly clamps her mouth shut with her hands. And there will be ground rules. I raise my finger. First, you are allowed only 5 minutes, believe in me, it will get boring fast. After that, you will return to your body. She nods eagerly. Seriously, don't overstay, we don't know the consequences of a soul staying off the body for too long. It can be dangerous, I say with my most serious tone. She nods again, now more seriously, trying to contain her excitement. And if you don't know how to return, we are doomed. We will need to ask Uncle for help. Her wince is all the confirmation I need to know that she understands how serious it can become. Okay, here, I give her the talisman. Remember, 5 minutes, not an extra second, if not, I will wake up Jackie and throw you under the bus. With this last thread ringing in her ears, she grabs the talisman. Jade. She grabbed the stone talisman and, knowing what to expect from it, sat comfortably on a chair. Jade once used the rooster talisman, so she had some experience in calling the powers of those objects, but even so, it took some tries for it to really work. It was very sudden. One moment, she was concentrating and squeezing the stone object, and in the other, she felt lighter than ever in her life. She was suddenly floating, and when she looked down, Jade could see herself sleeping. "Wow," she exclaims while moving her limbs around, but staying in the same place. She watched Hector put 2 fingers on her neck and then in front of her nose. Heart is beating and she is breathing. He then opens her eyelids to check her pupils. Instant REM sleep, he says. Then he starts shaking her. "Jade, Jade, Jade, la la la, I'm here, ooh." Jade floats around him, but Hector really doesn't notice anything. So it worked. He stands up and, after putting her in a more comfortable sleeping position, closes her 2 hands on the sheep talisman and puts them to rest on her tummy. "Don't forget, 5 minutes. Just go look around while invisible and return," he says while moving his head around. Jade listens to him and pulls one of her eyelids while sticking her tongue out to him, "Lee." Then she flew away while laughing, enjoying the freedom. "I will come back when I come back." One will never know how restricting a body is till they are free from it. Jade was able to fly through walls. She went to Jackie's room and pranked him with her finger going through his nose while he was sleeping. After having her fun, she decided to explore outside. She also entered his dream briefly. She even thought that the 5 minutes had passed, but when she got out, she discovered that time passes differently in the dream. Jade flew through the roof and looked down on the whole of Chinatown. "It's like with the rooster talisman," she says to herself while flying around the street, making funny faces at the old people who always demand too much respect. It was during this tour that she saw them. "The Dark Hand," she gasped, seeing the gang of villains walking into the antique shop. She quickly went back, going through the walls and finding Hector still leaning against a counter while passing the pages of a book. "Hector, watch out, they're coming," she shouts, but he just continues to keep his head down to read. "Ah yes, he can't hear me." She facepalms. She went down to the shop and saw the Dark Hand advancing beyond the counter, going to the private part of the shop where it becomes the house. They only need to walk up the stairs. It happened quicker than she expected. Hector noticed the villains and looked at them appearing from the entrance. "The back of the store is off limits to customers," he says while closing his book, his face serious. "We are not customers," the red-haired guy in a white suit says. "Then I will ask you all to leave," Hector replies while calmly walking to stay between her unconscious body and the 3 villains. "The big guy is not here. Do you guys think that you have a chance?" "We will see about that, boy," the one that looks like a zombie says. All of them pull some sticks. Electricity running through them is a clear threat. Hector, on his part, maintains a calm posture and waits. Patient, like Jackie taught them. And patience is not something those villains have. The guy in the white suit attacked first, bringing his arm back to a wide swing while running at Hector. Hector strikes, left hand on the forearm, preventing the electric baton from touching him. His right hand strikes the guy's throat and then snakes around his neck to pull him. Blam! His forehead hits the table, and he falls dizzy. The other 2 attacks at the same time. Hector decides to counter with a long-range throw to shake them off, grabbing a book and throwing it at the forehead of the big guy. Then he is at the last one, who is an easy prey. At the same time, Hector was beating the orange glasses guy. The first one in the white suit stood up. A brawl started, the thugs standing up just to be brought down again. "Yes, Hector, beat their asses," Jade cheered, moving her limbs around like she was fighting herself. Hector holds back and doesn't cripple anyone. At some point, they notice that it is useless and scurry back like rats. Running while supporting each other, Jade cheered all the way. "Jade, time to go back." Hector relaxes his stance and says to the room. She doesn't argue. Jade's astral body goes back to her body. She has some difficulty. Nothing happened initially, but with some focus on the talisman in her hands, she was able to merge back body and soul. Her eyes flutter open, and she sees Hector's face immediately. "Welcome back," he says and snatches the talisman from her hands. "I hope you had fun. This is going back." "Meh, it was not that fun after the first 2 minutes." She shrugs, trying to act nonchalant, but it was indeed a cool experience. Jackie would not let her play with a talisman. And watching from above, Hector demolishing the dark hand was also nice. Overall, it was a pretty nice day for Jade. And it seems they're very lucky too, because they barely had the time to tidy the things around before Jackie appeared, yawning. Wah, that was a good nap, I needed that. Hello, Mr. Chan. You will be happy to know that I found a passage explaining the powers of the sheep talisman, Hector says to Jackie's surprise. Oh, is that so? That's good, now Uncle will not force me to continue researching with him. Jack says happily, he was only able to nap because Uncle went out. Jade's mind turns off while Hector explains what he found, just turning back when Jackie addresses her personally. Jade, why don't we take the opportunity that we finish our job early, and that tomorrow is a Saturday, and go to the Moose Land like you wanted? He says softly to her. Seriously, Jackie, do you really mean it? Jade's eyes widen. Well, you hadn't gotten in trouble for some time, maybe you deserve it, her uncle says with a small smile. Quote. From the corner of her eye, she can see Hector scoffing, but she doesn't care. Yeesh. She jumped in place, her arms high in the air. She played with a talisman, watched a fight, and is now going to Moose Land. Best day ever. 12 comments 0 vote. Little acts of villainy. Third person POV. The day Hector was half dreading, how frantic iPadding eventually came, but it was not how he expected. Paying more attention to Jackie Chan's movements, he noticed a talk between him and Uncle about a trip to the Himalayas. The mention of this place triggered thoughts about the talisman resting there, the horse talisman. Hector was waiting for the episode of the dog and pig talismans to spare some effort, but the horse one is simply too good to just let pass. In the terms of the games that he likes so much, the ox talisman increases the strength status and the rabbit talisman increases the user's agility. The combo of the horse talisman and dog talisman gives a boost to the defensive status, like vitality and endurance. The two have regenerative abilities, but the horse one takes the crown in the healing properties. It can heal not only injuries but also diseases. One talisman prevents you from dying, and the other makes your life pleasant. An immortal, unhealthy life would be a curse, after all. The horse talisman is also a facilitator to many of his future endeavors, like the genie wish that will allow him to visit places with dangers that one can't simply punch away. In the confines of his small room, Hector retrieved his notebook and looked at the notes he had made about this world. His eyes focused on a simple drawing of the horse talisman, and an arrow at the side connects the talisman to a box with names of fictional worlds. A plethora of zombie apocalypse worlds, the Dark Continent in Hunter x Hunter, Valyria in Planetos, he reads in a low voice. His eyes go then to another box. There are also some ways to use its healing abilities to advantage. A list of names of sick people and favors he can acquire by playing the doctor is written inside the box. Bam, he closes the book loudly and puts on his inventory. But it all depends on how strong the talisman really is. I'm not expecting anything game-breaking, but I believe it will make my travels easier and much more pleasant. He may gain the goodwill of some important figure and live like a king. It also protects from magical ailments, I think. It will also help with his lack of documents and history. Let's go get it. His eyes become sharp, and he removes his normal clothes before he retrieves a dark suitcase from his inventory. Time to play as a villain a little. Jackie Chan drives a snowmobile up a mountain in the Himalayas. His body is encased in thick clothes to protect him from the cold. After half an hour of travel, he finally found the small abandoned temple where Uncle said that the ancient records pointed towards. The talisman was surprisingly easy to get, like many others. It seems to be a theme. The talismans are unknown, and the challenge is to find information about them. Luckily for Jackie, he has an uncle who knows his story and a spy organization in the shape of very convenient allies. The other obstacle is obviously the competition. An easy objective to reach means a lot of competition. Almost every finding of a talisman becomes a battle because of that. That is why Jackie is only mildly surprised when the Dark Hand appears. The three usual enforcers of the Dark Hand, Finn, Ratso, and Chow, appear wearing similar thick clothes to fight for the ownership of the talisman. Chan, leave the talisman behind. Finn says, pulling an electric short sword from his coat. Which talisman? Jackie Chan plays the fool, raising his arms innocently. That one. Ratso points behind Jackie. But when they look, they see that the talisman that they previously saw there has disappeared completely. What? It was just there, right? Chow asks. Yes, between the incenses, Finn confirms. Chan, where is the talisman? Ratso asks angrily, thinking that Jackie Chan tricked him somewhere. Jackie, on his end, is also stunned. No, hey, guys, I don't know what happened either, he was interrupted when the Dark Hand suddenly attacked. He dodges out of the way while trying to explain himself, but the three villains would never believe him. The fight extends through the whole temple, and Jackie dodges by millimeters while running around them. He pulls a rope from somewhere and is even able to tie them together. Albeit clumsily, it is enough to stop their movement till he delivers a flying double kick on the three villains, sending them onto a wall. He sighs in relief, done, but what happened with the talisman? He frowns deeply. Unfortunately, he will not have the time to ponder that because the double doors of the temple are suddenly opened, and Toru appears, bringing a strong gust of cold wind that makes both Jackie and the Dark Hand enforcers shiver. Chan, Toru says with a menacing tone, where is the talisman? I don't have it, Jackie tries to explain, but Chow, still tied together with the other two, shouts, he has it. That is all Toru needs. In truth, it's more than he needs. He would have attacked Jackie all the same. Bad day, Jackie sighs dramatically, knowing that a pointless fight is unavoidable. On the corner, leaning on a wall, Hector watches the events unfold. He is invisible to everyone, but if they are able to see him, they would see him in an infuriatingly relaxed posture, as if all of this was not caused by him. He is simply watching the show. Stealing the talisman from under their noses was embarrassingly easy, he just floated by them, invisible with the power of the snake talisman, and put the horse talisman in his inventory. Done. He is even a little ashamed of coming fully prepared to fight both the hero and the villains. He reveals himself when the fight moves out of the temple. Hector is wearing a full black ninja-like outfit, covering every inch of his body. On his face, a dark mask with a red visor. He prepared those clothes in the post-apocalyptic world, they are resistant and comfortable to wear. There's not enough space to carry things, like how a military vest would have, but he doesn't need that because of his inventory. I will be at the store before Jackie even enters the first plane back. He says before going invisible again and flying. But then he pauses and decides to accompany the little altercation between Jackie and the Dark Hand. They are going down the mountain in a very dangerous race on the snow, and an accident can happen. He will tag along till he confirms Jackie's plot armor. And to think I even mentally prepared to enter a villain persona and all that. He shakes his head. He is a little disappointed that he can't make a grand entrance as a mysterious figure, but the time has passed. It would be awkward to appear now. Uncle's rare finds. I'm telling you, Uncle. The talisman simply disappeared. Jackie tries to explain, but Uncle is unconvinced. How? Did it grow legs and walk away? Uncle snorts and flicks Jackie's forehead with 2 fingers. You are distracted and lost it. Admit. Maybe it becomes invisible. Maybe it teleports. Jade suggests moving her arms around. We don't know their powers, anything can happen. A talisman can't activate by itself, it needs the will of a living being to do that. Uncle schools her, Jackie was tricked. I was not tricked, the Dark Hand really tried to get it from me, thinking I had it. Jackie defends himself. Maybe it was a third party. Hector finally suggests. Everyone turns to look at him, noticing their attention, and he shrugs. What? Maybe the big boss of the Dark Hand noticed the incompetence of those thugs and used those shadow ninjas in the way ninjas are supposed to be used, stealthily. A big plan was created around that quote, to trick your enemy, you must trick your allies. They probably retrieved the talisman while Jackie was busy. That makes more sense. Jackie shows a pensive expression. I didn't see a single shadow con there. Then you are distracted, still your fault, Uncle reproaches him. But Hector is not done. There's also the chance that it's someone, maybe the information leaked from your spy friends, Jackie. And a greedy someone now wants magical powers, maybe a corrupt politician, an exigent, or whatever. I don't think that is the case. Black takes the talisman problem very seriously. He is not really on board with all the magical aspects, but he believes in what he saw, and he saw that the talismans were dangerous. Jackie says. Hector shrugs and turns around to hide a smirk. Just saying. It will also not be good to start doubting your allies, there's always the chance that there's another evil wizard or whatever that entered the race for the talismans late. With those words, he takes some of the books upstairs. Netherlands. The dog talisman continues with the trend of the easily accessible talismans, just casually staying on a wall of a windmill. Jackie arrived first, quickly digging the talisman out of the wall before something happened with it like last time. Toru arrived later. "Chan, now you can't lie," the giant man says while looking at the talisman in Jackie's hands. "Do you really need to do this? Working with the dark hand, I mean." Jackie puts the talisman away while talking. Maybe he is only trying to buy time, but maybe he really believes that Toru can leave the dark hand. Section 13 has dental care and a lot of benefits. I can write you a recommendation letter. The two circle around each other. Jackie uses the pillars and gears that move with the power of the wind around them as a shield. Jackie moves quickly, zigzagging, trying to confuse Toru. The opportunity appears, and he takes it quickly, slipping between the giant man's legs and jumping to the window. Jackie grabs one of the propellers of the windmill and waits till it rolls down to jump safely on the ground, but he was caught by surprise when the windmill stopped, and not because of the lack of wind. Toru grabbed it. He is holding on to it for dear life, his feet barely standing on the window while his huge body hangs in the air. He starts putting some force to tear the whole propeller down. Jackie is also already moving to step on his face, but someone beats him to it. Thud. Suddenly, a male figure lands on Toru's back in a crouched position, like a ninja appearing out of nowhere, but the strength behind it was enough to force Toru to let go and fall on the ground face first. Bam! Luckily, he fell into a pile of hay. If not, it would be bad for the giant. Still gripping the windmill properly tightly, Jackie Chan observed the quick development with wide eyes. He watches with attention while the figure slowly stands up. At first, he thought that it was some sort of Shotokan, but beyond the form-fitting black costume, nothing else was similar. It is more like some sort of vigilante from an action movie or cartoon. He is big, almost 2 meters tall, muscles bulging, straining against the tight costume, but the most eye-catching detail is his belt. There, Jackie can see a bunch of talismans, like he is wearing them as a belt buckle, a dozen belt buckles. Luckily, he doesn't have all of them. Jackie can see some octagonal empty spaces in that belt. He also can't see the talismans on his back, but Jackie can clearly see the dragon, the ox, and the rabbit talismans on the front. And when the propeller of the windmill moves a little, he can see the horse talisman too. It doesn't need to be a genius to figure out that this person is the one who took the talisman last time. The enemy says nothing. He raises his hand and throws a fireball at the windmill, not directly at Jackie, but it was enough to scare the man into jumping into a pile of hay on the ground. Hot. The problem is that Jackie suddenly stops in the air, as if a giant invisible hand grabbed him, and then he is brought down slowly, to become face to face with the man clad in black. The rooster talisman. Jackie is confused. This talisman should be on section 13. He is slowly turned around, still floating. Jackie can't move, his body is tightly wrapped by that invisible force. He felt his back pocket lighter, the talisman floating away till it fell on the man's hand. Calmly, he puts on an empty spot of his belt, at his side, making the dog talisman the immediate neighbor of the horse talisman. Then a tense moment comes. Jackie's mind runs 1,000 miles a minute, thinking in ways to escape or to talk out of this, because he is feeling very helpless right now. But he never needed. The unknown man simply and slowly disappeared from his view if he was merging with the surroundings. A moment later, Jackie falls on the ground, eyes wide in surprise, relief, and a little frustration. ... I'm telling you, Uncle. Jackie says on the phone. Right now, he is at an airport, ready to go back home. There's really another someone going for the talismans, and he has at least 6 of them. That is worrying. Uncle speaks in a serious tone. We need to be quick. In the worst case scenario, this other person will join forces with Shendu, and he will revive. There's another thing. Jackie starts but hesitates, like he is afraid of voicing his thoughts. I think he used the rooster talisman, Jackie whispers on the telephone. The rooster talisman is under the protection of section 13. Are you implying? Jackie can almost see Uncle raise an eyebrow by his tone. I don't know, he really stopped me in the middle of the air and made the talisman float to him. I was not able to see all the talismans on his belt, but, Jackie doesn't finish his thoughts. Is there some magic, or whatever, that can do the same? Jackie asked with some hope. Don't say whatever, Uncle retorts, and yes, there are ways to make things float. Jackie was almost sighing with relief before Uncle continued, but not as easily as using the power of the rooster talisman. No medium, no preparation, no incantation, and so freely like you told, I don't know any spell that can replicate the rooster talisman power so seamlessly. Quote. Come back home, you have to talk with your spy friend. Jackie is already dreading this moment. Bavaria. Hector, still in his dark ninja costume, floats slowly and straight above a city in Bavaria. This city is famous for being the home of a chocolate factory, and the pig logo is all over the place, so even Hector is surprised that no one has come here yet. The location of the pig talisman is so obvious, probably the most obvious of all talismans. What good spy organization, he scoffs. The only thing that can redeem them is the fact that this chocolate is not famous outside this country. But they don't find it. Before the internet, things were hard, huh? He remembers when anyone just had to take a picture of something, and Google would research it. He continues to slowly float till he is face to face with the clock tower, which is the biggest building in the town. He doesn't wait for the right time, when the pig cuckoo would come and beat his plates. He extends his hand and forces open the small door through which the pig-themed alarm of the tower passes. Floating inside, he found the pig talisman in the hat of the pig. So easy, he says, and makes the talisman float to him before putting it into an empty slot on his belt. 7 from 12, the rooster, sheep, and monkey are on section 13. And the tiger and rat will only appear at the right time. Now he just needs to wait. He was ready to fly back to Venetown when he heard a small sound. Looking at the side, he saw a large figure jumping from gear to gear before aiming a drop kick at him. Flying dragon corkscrew, you really should not shout in a sneaky attack. Hector depans before quickly sidestepping the attack. With the rabbit talisman, he became a blur and reappeared 3 feet to the side. The attacker passed by him without even grazing him. Hector gives the opponent the courtesy of recovering his foot. He could have attacked and waited till the figure rolled around himself and landed perfectly. Cat lands on feet and bare claws. PFF'd. I forgot how fun it was hearing you shout your every move, Hawk Fu. Hector laughs. A little cringe, but the good kind of cringe. Do you know Hawk Fu? The martial artist with a red lion-like mane turns and strikes a stance. How? Hawk Fu rarely keeps his enemies alive to tell about me. Trade secret, Hector says, before allowing himself to be brought to the ground by gravity. That is good. You are a very strong martial artist, the perfect training dummy. He says while warming up, rolling his shoulder, and stretching his limbs. I was just hired for this job. I bet the pay will be good if I bring all those talismans back. Hawk Fu declares while also preparing himself for a fight. Too bad you can't have it, but don't worry, I will not use them, Hector says with a condescending smile. It will be my second phase, not that you will even bring my health bar to 50% or anything. Ha! Angry Crow takes flight. Hawk Fu lunges at Hector. Despite being such a telegraphed attack that he practically announces what he is doing, Hawk Fu's attacks are fast and weird. His flexibility and acrobatics allow him unusual attacks that balance his nerf. Announcing attacks but unpredictable moves, it goes back to square one. But Hector still has better stats, even without using his talismans or his overpowered vision to predict the attacks. He dodges 1, serpent pounce technique, dodges twice, float like a lotus bloom, 3 times, flaming stance. Enough is enough, Hector thinks. The 4th time, Hawk Fu stands in only one leg, the other foot stretched to kick Hector. The black-clad man puts one hand behind Hawk Fu's extended knee and shoves him upwards. Hawk Fu was sent flying in the air, but he was good enough to spin himself to recover his balance. He even attacked again, upside down, his hands in the shape of a mouth. Shark attacks bottom feeder. Human uppercuts idiot, Hector says in a deadpan tone and uses a gazelle punch to meet Hawk Fu's attack. His fist goes through Hawk Fu's fingers and straight to the martial artist's face. He releases an ugly grunt and is sent flying till he hits a small ramp. Come on, stop playing and fight for real. Hector doesn't chase, he stays still, straight as an arrow, a hand behind his ABCN while the other makes the universal sign of, come. Hawk Fu doesn't need to be told twice, he continues to shout his moves, but his attacks got sharper, faster. Hector dodges most of them, trying to parry others. Sometimes he accomplishes that, but sometimes Hawk Fu changes his stance and tries to attack an unprotected part. Parrying is difficult, but it is very rewarding. Defending is a last resort, dodging is still the best. If I follow up quicker, it can be almost as good as parrying. He understands while fighting. Hector fails sometimes, but Hawk Fu's attacks do minimal damage against Hector's durable body. Something worth noticing is that Hector is using his Geni-given ability to age himself to his early 30s. His body is very muscular, in his own words, like a Part 3 JoJo character or a comic hero. Very different from his usual lean frame. He doesn't believe that he reached some great accomplishment with the Hercules method, like the ones in the Luther Strode universe, but his body is absolutely beyond peak human. The two fight for a considerable time, limbs flying and clashing, and slowly Hector gains the upper hand. Like a gamer learning the boss movements, he starts moving much more sure of himself, reactive in countering, dodging by just a small margin, striking in the openings. In relaxed, anyone would be able to see by the way he moves. He is holding back, making the fight last so that he can learn more, enjoying his growth and progress. Thud, Hector pushes Hawk Fu with a double palm strike on the man's stomach, just after he crouched to dodge a high kick. He doesn't chase, he simply straightens himself up and joins his fists behind his back, posing like some great master. "I think I know my level now," he says. He also thinks he has a vision of his fighting style, a path to follow. "You have been demoted from training dummy to punching bag," he declares. And the talismans on his belt shine with power for a moment. "You can interpret this as me giving you some respect or as humiliation, I don't care." He calls for Hawk Fu again. "Come. I want to play." He says that, but his objective is more than simply bullying Hawk Fu. He wants to know the difference between using the talismans and fighting without their assistance. Angry crows take flight. He got his answer, a very big difference. He immediately understood that the rabbit talisman is, in gaming terms, busted. Or better yet, he concluded speed is probably the most overpowered physical stat. The talisman does not give him the speed to compete with speedsters across fiction, it's not something that will go that far. Hector predicts that, maybe in a decade, the talismans will become obsolete after he outgrows them. But this magical object is very user-friendly. It gives him an enhanced perception of time and other powers that should help a speedster. Like a nerfed Speed Force, well, magic ignores physics. So that is why, when he concentrates, he sees Hawk Fu moving in slow motion. Again, his speed is still not enough that he can act cool and walk in the slowed time, but he pretty much feels invisible. The talisman also helped him go from fully stationary to maximum speed instantly, ignoring the laws of inertia. He can also change direction easily and make sharp turns. That is why he plays a little. While Hawk Fu is still in the air, Hector dashes forward and lightly taps the man. He doesn't use the Ox talisman yet, and he held back, but even the attack was much more potent than expected. Good to know that acceleration still holds weight. Hawk Fu barely recovered before Hector quickly appeared behind and punched him again, and again, and again. He went back and forth, attacking and immediately moving out of range, a blur of activity that was impossible to react or defend against. The red-haired martial artist tries to fight back, but every time he tries to attack Hector, he is not there anymore. Hector is playing with him, staying long enough just to bait for an attack before moving quickly to another position and hitting where it hurts. Then the Ox talisman starts giving Hector power too. His hits become stronger, strong enough to almost end the fight. Luckily, he held back. Hector changed his way of fighting. First, he grabbed Hawk Fu's wrist and spun him around like a rag doll. The martial artist screamed like a coward person in a roller coaster. Hector starts throwing Hawk Fu around. The man was barely keeping himself from landing badly despite Hector only doing casual throws, but Hawk Fu barely had time to straighten himself before he was grabbed again and tossed in another direction. What if I become invisible? Hector asks himself, and the situation gets even worse for Hawk Fu. Now he is fighting a ghost, a fast and strong ghost. With the snake talisman, Hector changed to mental warfare. He just makes sounds and taps Hawk Fu to catch his attention and keep him tense. He only really attacks 1 of 5 times, but the red-haired man is already looking worse than when he was being beaten up. Bat hears, Dawn. Hawk Fu closed his arms to try to use some made UP technique when Hector slapped his 2 ears. That is not how echolocation works, you need to emit a sound first. Hector says, but Hawk Fu can't hear him. The man wobbles and falls on the ground. Now, let's test the pig talisman, you are gonna run and I'm gonna chase HM. Looking down, he noticed Hawk Fu was completely unconscious. Quote. Hector pauses, then shrugs almost imperceptibly and walks away, losing interest quickly. He flies a little away before settling on an open space between some trees. I told Uncle and the others that I went back to college to talk with some teachers. He sits cross-legged and pulls some rocks from his inventory. He makes them float around him. I will use this time to prepare. Now that most of the talismans are in his hand, the final confrontation is much closer, and the end is near. 27 comments 0 vote. Cliché Kung Fu Master-Disciple Fight. Hector POV. A routine is already established in my life. It's incredible how fast routines start, how adaptable humans are. The new only lasts for a while before you get used to it. A good part of the human race abhors it, the so-called thrill seekers who always want to do something new, as if they are afraid of becoming boring. I think they are never really satisfied for long, living on dopamine shot after dopamine shot. On the other hand, others get stuck in their comfort zone and never try anything new. I think they live too little. It's all about balance, I guess. I learned that now. Understanding that life is a cycle, you should enjoy the new to the fullest and appreciate the routine, too. Occasionally, step out of your comfort zone. A foot is enough, leaving one behind to step back if needed. I think this way you can extract the most from life without being an idiot. As a traveler, I'm bound to always experience new things, so I gained an appreciation for even the boring things of life. And isn't this great? If you can enjoy even the boring, it means you are happy most of the time, right? Why does no one talk about it? In my time and world, social media messed up with people's sense of what is important. That is sad. My bitchy sister, for example, couldn't enjoy anything without taking pictures to show off on social media. Seriously, she couldn't live the moment. If she were not able to post what she is doing, she would consider it a waste because no one would know. She could be on the show of her favorite singer, but if her phone is dead, she would be sulking. I pity her now. I thought that I was sad, but she was even worse. I just had an enlightenment. I will break through in the next closed door cultivation. I joke while dusting the bookshelves. My routine is very boring to someone of my age. Training, studying, working. The most adventurous thing I do nowadays is try new restaurants around the area. And I love it. Peace. Life is good. Boom. Quote. Of course, life is a cycle. Nothing ever lasts forever. That's why you should appreciate and enjoy every moment of peace that you can before things suddenly change and become chaotic again. I didn't panic when the front door was suddenly burst open, even flying off the hinges and hitting a wall. I can hear the other residents of the shop hurrying to check what happened. I watch the dust settle without moving. I'm not gonna clean that. I put the duster away calmly while Hawkfu appears dramatically from the destroyed entrance. Look at this guy farming aura after being brutally molested by me the other day. I guess he forgot. Should I remind him? Hawkfu is here, he announces, talking in the third person. Hawkfu will have to pay for the repairs, I say in a deadpan tone. Jackie suddenly appeared from the upper floors by kicking the walls instead of normally walking the stairs. Another aura farmer. Kung Fu may not be the most efficient martial art, but damn me if it isn't cool. When I become super strong, I'm gonna do cool shit like that sometimes instead of ending things with one punch. Wait, I just reached the same conclusion as Saitama. Martial arts is about moving in a cool way. Am I dumb? Or is Saitama a genius? He must be a genius. Who are you? I'm shaken off my silly thoughts by Jackie shouting at Hawkfu. The famous Jackie Chan, not impressed. The red-haired manlion says in a haughty voice. You are with the dark hand. Jack Che accuses, already halfway to a fighting stance. Indeed, I will complete the task that the previous fools couldn't accomplish. Hawkfu declares. Hey, said fools appeared a little behind him, the three idiots in Toru. They seem serious, carrying the usual electric batons and guns. Wow, this children's show just went 2 years up in the parental guidance rating. A lot of shadow cons started appearing too, sliding on the walls in their shadow mode. Did the fact that Shendu has not even one talisman to his name create a sense of urgency in the statue dragon? I guess he chewed Valmont about that. Maybe I should end him. It's already late game. I don't need them to distract Jackie and Section 13 anymore. While I was contemplating some drastic actions and how to achieve it, the conflict between the two groups began. I don't care that much beyond keeping the Chan family safe. That would be a good opportunity to get the other talismans, but I'm soft-locked till the next event. Should I invade Section 13 and take their 3 talismans? I still want to check if the Rooster talisman boosts my telekinetic powers. I mean, Normally one would think that I would gain two separate telekinetic abilities with different origins, psychic and magic, but, when we consider the fact that some talismans boost people's physical abilities, I can't see why I can't do the same with another natural ability of mine that no one has, like telekinesis. The rabbit talisman boosted my flight speed, not only running speed, which is what made me really consider that this interaction can happen between my power and the rooster talisman. Oh, Jackie received a flying kick on the chest and was sent to the wall. Yeah, I clowned Hawk Fu, but the guy is kinda a counter against Jackie. He is very aggressive, while Jackie is not. You can't always be like that. Giving someone in the same league as you the initiative can be fatal. And while we are in the shop, Jackie will hesitate to use anything as a weapon. Uncle is dealing with the Shotokan and the dumb trio. I was almost stepping in, but several black vans screeched to a halt in front of the shop, and the agents of Section 13 appeared. Damn, this has become a last battle. Well, not my problem. You would disappoint me, Chan. Hawk Fu says with an air of superiority, but I'm not here for you. Hawk Fu then reaches for his waistband. Oi oi, pause. Ah, he is getting a handle from his pants. The phallic object gave me a scare for a second. I thought this was some different Jackie Chan world. Now that I'm looking with attention, isn't that the talisman locator that I stole? I was disappointed with it because it needs to be close to the talisman, so it's only useful when you already know the general location. I let the investigation fall to Section 13 in the dark hand anyway, so I never really needed it. If the last two talismans are not something that will only appear in the location I know at a certain time, I would have gone for them. Hawk Fu raises the talisman localizer. I notice that it is different from the last one, with only one dragon head, and he moves around like he is scanning the surroundings. Oh, I had bad feelings about this, but I guess it's time. The place is chaotic. The Chan family, the Dark Hand, Shotokan, everyone pauses when the dragon's head stops staring at me and ignites like a torch. Quote. Well, this is awkward. Here I am, staying still, eyes open in surprise as everyone's mouth follows the example and falls to the floor. It's not hard to guess what the thing in Hawk Fu does, so everyone connected the dots pretty quickly. I could deny and play the fool, they would never find the talismans in my possession. Whatever, it was bound to happen eventually, and the seed of doubt was planted. Let's rip off the band-aid. So I just let the mask slip away and smile a little sheepishly while raising my hands to the air. Busted. Hee hee. I'm still behind the counter, so I quickly equip the talisman belt that I made before standing up and walking around. I dramatically grab the hem of my shirt to show it to everyone while walking. I thought that I would have more time, I say and let go. Before my shirt can fall in place, I zoom fast enough that no one is able to react, not even Hawk Fu, the one who gets reacquainted with my fist. He must have missed it if he came back for more. Third person POV. The place falls into a suffocating silence after the big reveal. The mild-mannered and inconspicuous college student had never done anything suspicious, never appeared to be greedy, and he even worked for free. He was a hard-working, helpful, low-maintenance guy who was just there. Mostly out of the way, never complained about anything, never in trouble. No one thought much about it. He appeared when this whole race for the talismans was not even established yet, when no one knew how high the stakes were. Who would suspect such a guy? He was a side character, till he was not. He is the hidden villain. His whole demeanor changed, his face cold, and completely different attitude. Completely unrecognizable to anyone. Hector, why? Jade's words cut the silence, her expression was hurt. Quote. Hector's pupils moved to her. I want the talismans. He answers with a shrug, not delving further or justifying himself. What can he say? Explain that he is an omniversal traveler collecting items of power to help him on his journey. Promise that he will not use it for evil. None of that will stick. I thought we were friends. Jade is almost crying now. Almost 2 months living together, talking every day. Yes, it can be said that they are friends. Hector pauses. Wow, that hit me in the heart more than I thought, he comments with an expressionless face, tilting his head. But sorry, it's not enough to make me hesitate now. His stance shifted, and he faces everyone, treating them all as enemies. Everyone answers in kind, preparing their weapons to fight him. Hector, Uncle calls him, you are fired. He says with a voice full of disappointment. Ha ha ha, I was not expecting a recommendation letter anyway. And he attacks. The rabbit talisman gives him enough speed to push every combatant out of the shop. He still respects the place. Only Uncle and Jade stayed behind. Everyone, with the exception of the Shadow Khan, groans in pain as they hit the ground. Sorry, I was not able to do it like those speedsters, so I just brute forced with wind pressure. Hector stops above the roof of a car. Agent Black, right, I want you to tell me where you are hiding the talismans. He points at the bald director of Section 13. Never, Agent Black answers, gun in hand. HMPF, I bet at least one of you agents is not so strong-willed. He speaks like a villain, looking down on everyone. Okay, this is a little fun. He is still feeling a little bad about the betrayal, so he will just embrace the side he chose and try to enjoy it. It's his way of life, after all. The street was closed by the agents, now blocked by black vans that shield the spies like policemen in a shootout. Useless, his eyes light up with a yellow flame, and he starts blasting the cars with his heat vision. Agents jump from behind the cars, trying to take cover anywhere else. Others start shooting him, but he ignores them. The combined powers of the dog talisman and the horse talisman make him impervious to damage of this level. It still hurts, though. Now I know why Dio repeats, useless, all the time, you all just don't learn. He says and grabs a nearby lamp post with only one hand and uproots it with the same ease an adult would harvest a carrot from the ground, and swings as easily as a baseball bat. Bam! A group of agents in tactical armor is sent flying like dolls, gravely hurt at least. Hector swings once more, this time at the Shadow Khan, and this time much more ruthlessly. Hector let the post fall and disappeared from his spot in a quick movement, like a blur, and reappeared in front of the dummy trio of the Dark Hand. Where are you three thinking you are going? He asks with a warm smile, blocking their escape route. I need to get my suit in the laundry. I have a dentist appointment. Take my grandma to bingo. Quote. Hector's lips twitch at them, but he holds his laugh and attacks. Not as hard as he could have, half because he has no hard feelings against those three, and half because he has a plan. In 3 seconds, the trio is in very weird positions after being on the receiving end of high-speed judo throws. I'm not being paid enough for this. Ratso groans. Hector starts getting annoyed by the mosquito bites he is receiving from the shots, so he decides to deal with all the agents quickly. Now he becomes a blur, moving around the battlefield so quickly that no one can follow his movements. Only the whoosh sounds, together with the shots of pain and the ants flying, show his path. No one can resist, no one can go against him. He is too strong, too fast, and too durable. He is like a discount Superman, maybe a Homelander. I ask myself who would be a stronger, a 12 talisman user or Homelander. His power scalar thoughts appear because the tasks at hand are so easy. Angry Crow takes flight. Aw man, you again. Hector rolls his eyes before looking straight at Hawk Fu and blasting him with his laser vision. Taking advantage of the fact that his attention is on Hawk Fu, Jackie sneaks up on Hector and tries to grab his belt. Swish, but Hector simply moved 2 feet back at high speed, so that Jackie just grabbed the air. Hector doesn't attack, he stops and stares straight at Jackie, the Asian man doing the same. Hector, there's still time to go back and change your ways. After a cough, Jackie straightens himself and tries to admonish him. Sorry, Sifu. Hector just recently learned the difference between Shifu and Sifu. It's just a change of dialect, considering that Jackie came from Hong Kong. Hector speaks the Cantonese version. But no turning back now. Pow, and he attacks his teachers with a palm strike, sending Jackie flying till his back hits a car. Here we go with another cliché, now of the student betraying the master. If I kill Jackie, Jade would probably seek revenge. He thinks with some humor, not that he would ever kill Jackie Chan. Jackie, Jade, who was watching everything, shouts. Hawk Fu seemingly takes a page from JC's book and also tries to sneak up on Hector too. Monkey plucks 2 peaches, he shouts, suddenly behind Hector in a side split, his right hand making an arch between the traveler's legs. Oh no, you won't. Hector shouts. Even if he is immortal and impervious to damage, there is still the everlasting mental damage to take into consideration. He steps back at lightning speed, changing stances, leg raised. Take this Lin Fan shit far away from me. He kicks Hawk Fu's face, also sending the man flying, a blood trail following his trajectory. Can't believe that guy tried to steal my peaches. Hector is still aghast with the audacity. A lesson that people can always play dirty. Luckily Hawk Fu is, well, a fool, and announced his attack. Hector steps back to take a good look at the battlefield. He was almost caught off guard, not that it would have done anything because his future sight provided by the Hercules method has a flaw, or more like a limitation. It's more like Rudoi's foresight eye than the Haki from the One Piece world. He can predict the movements of someone and something in his line of sight instead of literally seeing a few seconds in the future. It's very strong. His eyes can see beneath people's skin, pay attention to the way the muscles and tendons move and contract, but if he is not looking, at best, he can feel the air movement. Not that reliable when so many things can remove his focus. So he is kinda weak against sneaky attacks from blind spots. His moment to assess the battlefield does not pass idly. Using the Jackie Chan style, he grabbed anything nearby and threw it at all the minor characters around. Agents and Shadow Khan alike fell by his aim. He couldn't take down everyone because Jackie Chan and Hawk Fu jumped at him again. The enemy of my enemy is my friend moment, he laughs, seeing the two attack one from each inside. His limbs move like lightning, forearm and elbow frustrating the attacks, his legs occasionally rising to stop some sudden kick. Did you train in secret? Jackie asks between deep breaths. You taught me well, Sifu. Hector answers, his face full of concentration, I'm not holding back now. He is not even using the ox or the rabbit talismans. His superior body and senses are all he needs to keep up with the onslaught of the two masters. Well, the dog and the horse talismans, passive power allows him to ignore any pain and attrition. He will not get tired, or even wear off, it will happen with the other two first. He starts meeting their attacks head-on. Palm against palm, fist against fist, it's obvious who ends with the advantage if things continue like that. Even with the two enemies getting better and better with their teamwork, their defeat is inevitable. There are the talismans that he is not using, taken into consideration too. Jackie made many attempts to get to his waist, to try to take his belt. Hector defends every time. Even if he knows that it is useless. This belt is made by him and for him. The lock in the buckle is an intricate mechanism. It's fully internal, with no gap to even be lockpicked. He needs to use his telekinesis to open it from the inside. It will not come off, not even if Jackie tries to pull with all his strength. It's made with strong materials from the post-apocalyptic world Hector visited, leather from aberration mutants that need to be hit with futuristic military artillery to be taken down. They would need a highly concentrated laser to cut it off. The combat gets fiercer, and reinforcements start arriving. Pointless fight at this point, Hector thinks while ducking under a kick, only to be shot on his shoulder by Agent Black. If looks could kill, wait, it can. His eyes filled with fire that he released onto the cars that were creating a barricade. Boom boom, he starts directing the fight with Hawk Fu and Jackie Chan upward on the street. He grabbed them by the neck before jumping dozens of meters and throwing the two at some billboards up in the street. The two masters are good enough to lower the damage taken and soften their eventual fall. Hector jumps to attack Hawk Fu, now concentrating on only one. The red-haired man is at a complete disadvantage, receiving multiple attacks on his torso, the air being forced out of his lungs. Jackie arrives later with a drop kick, but Hector grabs his foot and throws him in the air. Jackie holds a lamppost and spins before returning with another drop kick. It didn't work once, so it doesn't work the second time, even with Hawk Fu trying to create an opening by attacking Hector at the same time. You two are really working well together, Hector laughs and finally abuses his talisman powers. He uses the rabbit at the same time as the serpent, disappearing completely. Jackie Chan and Hawk Fu hit each other, their eyes widening, as they are forced to brace themselves for the crash. Ha 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 ha, Hector reappears some meters away, laughing. Hawk Fu and Jackie Chan go to attack him, but Hector performs a half-useless backflip and lands on the roof of a cable car that was passing behind him. The other two can't let him escape, so they obviously follow him by jumping quickly on the side of the cable, grabbing it with their hands. If I were evil, I would kick your guys in the face, Hector comments while standing on the edge of the roof, looking down on them. Oh wait, I am evil. And he steps on Hawk Fu's face, making the man fall on the asphalt while the cable car continues to move. This is for trying to grab my balls. He is still angry about that. Jackie uses the opportunity to jump to the roof of the cable car with an acrobatic maneuver. It's just the two of us now, Sifu. Hector smiles while looking at his opponent. Why are you doing this, Hector? Jackie asks, looking at his student seriously. You don't look like you have evil intentions. The two start circling each other above the red roof, the wind moving their hair, as the city of San Francisco changes behind them at high speed. PFF'd, how do you know that? You only know me for 2 months. I watch you. I saw you studying seriously, putting honest effort into your work. I saw you helping our neighbors without asking for anything in exchange. Jackie asks, you are not like the Dark Hand. Quote. Well, you got me there, Mr. Chan. Hector shrugs after some hesitation, I'm not evil, I think. But I'm greedy. I helped because it cost me nothing, and I seek the talismans because I want their power. There's no concrete objective or big plan to do evil afterward, I just want them because I want to be stronger, to be faster, to become invisible and shoot lasers from my eyes. He speaks honestly. It's almost silly. Quote. Sorry for the betrayal, Jackie. I really mean it, Hector says, seriously for once, but would you let me have it if I made a pinky promise not to commit crimes? Huh, would Section 13 allow that? Is a crime to own the talismans, huh? They are dangerous, Jackie answers with conviction. Guns are dangerous, and your friend, Black, uses them. A knife is dangerous, and anyone can have one. Even a pen can be dangerous if you are using it. Hector interrupts, anything can be dangerous in the wrong hands. It's only socially acceptable to certain people to have control over guns, or even nukes, because they prove themselves to be capable of using them, right? Finding the talismans and acquiring them is the test to prove one's worth of their powers. I passed the test, Jackie. The talismans are mine by right of conquest. You, Uncle, Section 13, the Dark Hand or Shendu, you all will need to take it from my hands using the same method. Words are useless. You can't convince me otherwise. Let's simply fight to decide who is right. Hector finishes his speech by adopting a martial stance, challenging his master. It's time, he thinks within the confines of his mind. Quote. Jackie sighs sadly before doing the same. It's the same stance. Their forearms are touching as the two stare into each other's eyes. They remain completely immobile while the city blurs behind them. They are waiting for the other to attack first, waiting for a signal. Ding. It happens when the bell of the cable car emits a sound. The moment they stop, Hector attacks. Punch with his left hand. Jackie ducks and goes for an uppercut. Hector raises his chin and throws his head back to dodge, and then half spins to deliver a kick. Jackie jumps over it and, with a front flip, brings his heel down on Hector's head. He dodges with a side step and spins to hit Jackie with a full swing backhand. Jackie allows himself to fall more, opening his legs in a full front split to dodge. Hector follows up by raising his leg high in the air and bringing it down on Jackie's head. The master rolls out of the way till standing up a little farther. Hector is not using any powers, he is not even using his superior physical stats. It's a fight of technique, reflexes, and raw martial arts. The two exchange dozens of strikes with their arms while standing in front of each other, parrying and counter-attacking at high speed, hands flying to attack exposed points. The two are completely focused because one mistake can be fatal. It's more than a simple dispute during a battle. It's a duel and a challenge of skills. The one who comes in the top will prove himself to be the better. It will be a heavy mental blow to whoever loses this little exchange, probably deciding the fight. Bam! Finally, it happens. Hector's palms connect with Jackie's solar plexus, sending the older man reeling back. He won. A big smile blossoms on his face seeing Jackie being pushed back, off balance. The disciple surpasses the master. He laughs and presses his advantage. The cable car goes back to move while he completely dominates the fight. To every 3 exchanges, he hit 2 attacks while deflecting another. It starts to become a one-sided beatdown. His hands strike precisely all over Jackie's torso and face. The shoulder, cheek, chest, clavicle, elbows, armpit, navel. Jackie was forced more and more to his knees after every attack, also getting closer and closer to the edge of the roof of the cable car. San Francisco in the background projects danger like a cliff. It finally ends. Jackie was forced to his knees, and Hector stood above him. Goodbye, Jackie Chan. It was fun while it lasted. Hector raises his fist while speaking with honest and genuine respect. But before delivering the final strike, Hector noticed something strange. Where did you get this rope? He asks, looking down to see that suddenly there are some thin ropes around his leg. Jackie used the distraction to throw the other end of the rope on another cable car that was passing by them, but in the opposite direction. Whoosh! Hector was suddenly pulled, the movement creating whiplash and making him look like under the effect of ragdoll physics as he was flung by the other car. Quote. As he is being dragged through the asphalt, hitting every single thing on the street, he is internally laughing, ha 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 ha. Classic Jackie Chan move. He is happy, now things can progress as he planned. Later, Hector was handcuffed by a secret agent, his talisman belt was taken from him by Agent Black, and he was forced into an armored black car. He looks calm, ignoring all the unfriendly glares around him. So this is how it feels to be the villain that loses, not pleasant. He thinks while swearing to himself to never go through it for real. While he was being conducted, Jade ran through the many agents and started punching his legs. Liar, 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 why did you do that? Why? The little one never had such a close encounter with betrayal, it's overwhelming her young mind and heart. Her friend is a criminal and a villain. Quote. Hector looks down on her without reaction, even when watching her tears. Things are not always black and white, Gremlin. He says, only the two know that he is using the nickname he gave her, because his tone is completely flat, borderline unfriendly. Just see me as a villain. It will be easier this way. He walks past her and sits on the back of the armored car. Agents in full tactical gear and heavy weapons sit around him while another handcuffs his legs. While the double doors of the car closed, he heard Black talking with Uncle and Jackie. It was a blessing in disguise, we just got another 7 talismans. The agent says, I will keep it safe with the rest. And what about Hector? Jackie asks, still having good feelings for his students. I'm sorry, Jackie. Black shakes his head and looks at his old friend sympathetically. He will be staying in a prison cell in Section 13 for the foreseeable future. He says. While the Chan family reacts with different negative emotions, from Jade crying to Uncle's disappointment, Hector is in a completely different mood. Too bad that this is the moment an agent put a muzzle and a blindfold on him so no one saw the big smile that spread across his face after he superhearing captured Black's words. You are not paranoid enough, Mr. Spy, you didn't even check if the talismans on your hands are real. He thinks, and here I was worried that the tracker inside them would be easily found. To be continued.